paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I'm sweating like a country pig. I'm gunning beers and taking swigs of ice cold Jack. We're at the track, it's racing day, we're getting smacked. I never really understood this NASCAR shit. I thought, how could I be impressed when cars go left? But then I went, baby, it's the best. The ladies here are fine as spring. They'll hop to a ride on that thing. There's beer and whiskey everywhere. There's smoke and rubber in the air. I'm gunning beers, I'm shooting Jack. We're here all day, 500 laps. And when they start them engines up, man, my heart, it starts to pump. Cause Lord, them cars go round and round on hot black asphalt racetrack ground. We're all obsessed, they're turning left. The beer and rubber, perfect mess. They're going fast, they might just crash. And if they do, these ladies flash their country tits. I must admit, I understand this NASCAR shit. It's not loud, we're in the crowd. We're watching cars go round and round. We're in the South, the USA. We fly that flag each goddamn day. And when it's time to watch a race, we crack a beer right on our face. We watch them cars go fast and left. It's NASCAR shit's the fucking best. Cause Lord, them cars go round and round on hot black asphalt racetrack ground. We're all obsessed, they're turning left. I'm drunk as shit, I love this mess. They're going fast, they might just crash. And if they do, these ladies flash their country tits. I must admit, I understand this NASCAR shit. Oh, Lord, them cars go round and round on hot black asphalt racetrack ground. We're all obsessed, they're turning left. A dirty summer country mess. They're going fast, they might just crash. And if they do, these ladies flash their cartridge hits. I must admit, I understand this NASCAR shit.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
In a world where a checkered flag is just the start, meet Ryan Wheeler, the would-be champ who seems to have run his last lap. But when a mysterious figure offers Ryan a dark bargain, promising the throne of speed, he strikes a deal with the devil that will make him ride and die. From ball-busting YouTube sensation and Arca Menard's NASCAR breakout racer Cody Dennison comes his first kick-ass comic creation. This won't be your average ride. It's a tale drenched in bone-chilling horror, soaked in violence, and wrapped around the curves of both the track and the sexiest women that'll make you forget the road ahead. Experience the race of a lifetime, or the damnation of your very soul. Will Ryan outrun his demons, or will he burn in the fiery pits of hell? Don't miss out. Get Cody across the finish line. Back Ride and Die on Indiegogo.
I have read a lot of books, and I think I'm a smart man here. However, there is one book I'm really excited about. It's one coming out soon, and it will blow you all away. The book is called Ride and Die. It's about some race car driver and some big titty demons. My good friend Cody Ake Kamala 331 wrote it, and it is amazing. You should all go back, get on Indiegogo, just like I have. Get on it.
Hey, you. You're finally woke.
Are you guys aware that we almost see no titties in movies anymore? And we only see titties. Hey, anybody notice this? Yes, I love titties. Big old titties.
What's up, everybody? We're back on this beautiful ass Wednesday to talk some shit and have a good ass time doing it. And we got so much to talk about. It's going to blow your damn mind. You're going to have no mind after this because we're about to blow it. And before we even start, holy hell, the super chats have been flying hot, diggity damn, son. We've had a really exciting day on the social media today. It's been a lot of fun. I officially announced on all social media that I will be a playable character in the NASCAR 25 video game developed by the folks over at iRacing. So it's probably going to be the best NASCAR game ever made. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm so excited about that. We're getting a few more sponsors on board that want to be included in the video game. because that's going to be cool to have your company in a video game forever, immortalized for thousands and thousands and thousands of fans. That's pretty cool. It's called longevity. So we're doing that right now. We're getting companies on board. We got a few spots left, and I just spilled Monster everywhere. That's kind of how I run my life, spilling Monster on my keyboards. See, dude, my keyboards stopped working after a couple months, so I just started buying thrift store keyboards. My last 2 keyboards have been $2 from a thrift store. $2. You want to see my thrift store keyboard that was $2? It doesn't. I don't even think it has a brand name. I bought it for $2 at a thrift store because I stopped caring. I kept getting mechanical keyboards for like $150 or something, and they would stop working after 6 months. So I was like, well, we'll just get some thrift store ones. So at any rate, boys, a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the IRS, and it looks like I have some very unpopular opinions about what's going on. I'm in complete disagreement with the Orange Man. Pretty interesting. But to be fair, a lot of my takes are kind of nuanced and never really aligning anywhere. A lot of people don't really understand that. They think you have to be either for or against. I don't like what's going on right now, and I'm going to get into it and probably get yelled at by my chat, but that's fine. I get yelled at every day. There's like 100 tweets right now quote tweeting the announcement of my racing video game announcement, saying they're going to wreck me every time they see me. Like when it's a AI character controlling my car, they say they're just going to wreck me. Like, okay. So while you are mad on Twitter and playing the video game wrecking me, I'll be buckling in for practice at Talladega in real life. Oh no, my feelings are so hurt. You're going to wreck me on a video game. Well, I'm going to go continue doing it in real life while you're just mad on Twitter. What's up, bitches? Anyways, Meat Puppet, I love you. Slagless says 2 for the goon, but stay away from the walls, bro. I'm trying, baby. Charitard says, hey, Cody, just want to congratulate you on performance in the ARCA series. Don't let haters get you down. For the first time, you did really well. I appreciate you, man. Our first year was great. Daytona was very sad, but we're going to Phoenix in 2 weeks, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank God for that. Thank you, Charitard. Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher says, can't wait for Talladega. Did you see the Delta flight trip? Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. I also hope Trump just gets rid of the IRS and replaces them with something better. I'm sick of property tax and income tax still. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the issue, though. That's the issue. It's like there's all these talks about the ERS and other programs basically taking the brunt of tax or taking the brunt of the income for the country so that people don't have to. But they need to get rid of the IRS first. Don't do this whole, we're just going to have 2 things now or 3 things or 4 things now. And then you still have to pay taxes. No, fuck that. Get rid of the IRS first and then do all that shit. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you. Gabriel Knight, Nugget Snake sweeping the world. Just this week, Mark Hamill got up on stage in London during the BAFTAs and did his own version. Yeah, his pants fell down. Pretty freaking crazy. Thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate you, dude. I love you, man. We're almost a 5th of the way to Nugget Snake already. Hot diggity damn. Juicy Booch. What's up, dude? How you doing? Zachary says, is Nick Ricade in rehab? I don't think so. Oh, my God. Yeah, at least there's that, Rakin. At least there's that. Are you happy you didn't come now? Are you happy they didn't come now? Come on now. All right. At any rate, a lot to talk about. The IRS is being audited. There is 6,000 or 16,000. I think it might be 6,000. 6,000 IRS employees are being laid off tomorrow. Now, what's annoying about this is why is it not all of them? Now, I guess to be fair, you need some people on staff to be able to keep the ball rolling, and maybe they're auditing some people that are actually on Capitol Hill. Maybe that's the case, but I say just cut the damn head off the snake. Just cut the head off the snake, man. Vespasian says, do you have to be gay to play your character in the game, or can you stay straight and still play? No. Love you, bro. Thank you so much. Yes, you have to be gay, unfortunately. Thank you, dude. Vespasian, appreciate you. Danny Vox says, isn't driving the track the wrong way and causing mayhem what everyone does in those games? Yes. Yes. Arcade racers, man. Arcade racers. I mean, iRacing's bad enough. Try to play in a public lobby in a video game on Xbox. That shit's crazy. Thank you, Danny Vox. Appreciate you, dude. When does the game come out? I'm hearing September. That's what I'm hearing. So, yeah, if you want to get involved, we have a few spots left. If you want to get involved and be in the video game, you better DM me because we have like 3 spots left, I think, and then we have a deadline of March. So once it's over, it's over. So if you have a small business and you want them in the game, you best message me. And no, it's not free. Holy hell, man. I've been dealing with that today. You know how many people messaged me today? I got 100 DMs. 100 DMs about sponsoring me in racing and being included in the game. Because, obviously my paint scheme is in the game. So your logo would be on my car, obviously, right? And almost I guess about 90 of them thought it was just free. Oh, I can just sponsor you for free. I'm like, oh, yeah, exactly. That's how it works. It's just completely free. That's how we pay for tires in ARCA and NASCAR. We just go up to them and say, hey, can we have free tires? And they're like, yeah, dude, it's totally fine. You'd actually be really surprised. I've actually driven 5 hours and met with giant companies that were shocked when they found out that sponsoring a race car or NASCAR was not free. Like big companies. I've had companies think that I would have to pay them to feature their logo on my car. They thought I was going to pay them to advertise for them. I don't understand how people's minds work. Some people understand, though. Some people understand, But hey, man, some people don't. Thank you. Hell, the ozone. Hey, bud, Talladega. Oh, yeah, we're Talladegan, boy. Hell, yeah. Yeah, so after my ginormous wreck at Daytona, which I definitely caused, because if I don't put that disclaimer in there, everybody's like, it was your fault. I'm like, yeah, I was there. It was my ass. But after my wreck, I actually ended up getting a very, very nice large sponsor from it. So we are good to go for a while. Thank God for that. Thank you, Holy Ozone. I appreciate you. So yeah, I was pretty stressed out, but it all worked out in the end. It all worked out. Who knew that wrecking at Daytona would bring a sponsor? Well, it's all good. It's all good. So, but they're really good people, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So, all right, thank you guys so much. A fifth of the way to Naked Snake for the 422nd time already. Can you believe it, boys? Can you believe? Well, Billy, it's probably because my dead body was like sitting there in the infield, and they were just zoomed in on Tim Cass for like a solid 5 minutes. That's probably why. You're like, damn, Cody, do it again. Get us on there. You know what I'm saying? Well, all right. So, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Okay, here we go. It was a freak accident. Yeah. Oh, Tomcast. Don't get me started. Yeah. I mean, aero loose is kind of a freak thing, but hey, man. That's just how it works, dude. That's just how it works, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good, man. It's all good, baby. All right. Beep. Then go to other team owners and threaten to wreck them unless you get. But no, we're not going to do that. No. Wrecking is definitely not the goal. That is not the goal. I don't want to put anybody in a financial spot that they're already in because it's very expensive to get up in there and pay for cars, pay for parts, pay for engines. You don't want to mess all that up. And my happy ass getting loose off of 4 ruined a lot of people's day. So we're gonna not do that. We did it once last year. Now, granted, last year is because I got freaking dumped. But still, that's the mulligan. So this year, let's say that's the one for the year and move on and have 19 clean ass races. So it's all going to be good. John Smith says they're gunning for you now. Well, I think almost every single person involved in the wreck actually does not run full time. So they are definitely not gunning for me. Camelot should get sponsored by Sega. Yeah, dude. How did your wreck happen, Misty? Or Miss L. So I was coming off turn 4 over the tunnel. And I guess it's the way our bodies are shaped in ARCA. The trucks have a similar problem, and the Cup Series had a big problem in the Gen 6 era. And there was like an air pocket. The 48 moved up a little bit. There was an air pocket, and the 73 came close to my left rear. And that air pocket and dirty air just hit me and knocked me sideways, and it was over. It was just, you're going 190 miles an hour. You know, it was over. So I've never got loose before and not been able to save it very easily. And there was just no, it was over. So yeah, it was pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. Yeah, I'm excited that Cletus is going to Talladega. I'm going to do everybody a favor at Talladega, and I'm going to start out back. So just to get the jitters out of the way, we're going to start out back at Talladega. And if there's not a wreck for 30 laps like last year, then we'll start going through the field. But I'm definitely absolutely not starting up there, even if it's not me that's a problem, right? So, all right. But we are racing at Phoenix in 2 weeks, so don't miss it. It'll be on Fox. Yeah, we're going to have a really fast car. We're building a very fast car, so I'm excited. All right, boys. So let's go ahead and start the show. So, beep, 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 beep. Yeah, okay, I doubt it. So, there's been a lot of talk about Trump abolishing the IRS, which you and I both know, and I'm pretty sure most of you are in favor of this, right? Most of you are in favor of this, I would imagine. I know some of you are like, you don't pay into taxes and you don't understand it. There's a portion of you in chat that rely on your tax return because you're like, you got an IQ of 7, and they're because if you actually like think about it a little, you'll understand why it's really dumb. But there's also some of you that don't pay in, and you make maybe $28,000 a year, and you get a tax return, and you're like, oh, we need these taxes for roads and schools, guys. We need your taxes for roads and schools. Yeah, because the your money that goes to the IRS is definitely going towards your local road out front of your house. Yes, I was 12 years old once as well and thought the same thing. But now I'm 34. So your gas tax and your local taxes are what goes towards your local roads. Have you ever wondered why the interstate in Ohio is absolutely nuked, and all the roads are, but for some odd reason, the roads in Alabama are all very nice? I wonder why. Why is it that the roads in Alabama, if funded by the IRS, is good, but not good in Ohio? Does the IRS hate Ohio? No, because it doesn't go. Your income taxes do not go towards your local roads, you dumb bastards. And it doesn't go towards your local schools. That's what your property tax and your gas taxes are for. Okay? So now it's time to grow up. Now we're no longer 12 years old, right? So we have all aged to our 30s. Everybody in chat, we're all 30 right now, right? We get it. Okay? Your income tax return, your income taxes do not go towards your local schools and roads, right? Is everybody agreeing now? Because I'm so tired of people saying this unironically. Because it's unbelievable. I've seen full-grown men with glasses that are bald say this shit unironically. But what about our roads? Like, are you... Anyways, so we all agree now. We all agree. All right, so that being said, the IRS needs to go. The IRS was a temporary solution put in place during wartime that was actually only supposed to be aimed at the ultra-wealthy. Well, guess what? Setting a precedent does exactly that. It sets a precedent, and now everybody pays income taxes. Shocking, right? Well, the IRS needs to go because there's no reason for it to exist. And yes, things like tariffs and other things could totally rip that shit out. Totally rip that shit out. Get rid of it, okay? Now, here's my issue. Here's my big-ass issue, okay? My issue is Donald Trump and Elon Musk were suggesting a dividend return. Okay. Now, what this means is they were suggesting that the savings that they are getting with auditing federal organizations with DOGE should be returned to the people. And I've seen an ass ton of conservatives, and I mean an ass ton, and 100,000 likes here and there, all excited about this dividend return of $5,000 or $8,000 or whatever it's supposed to be, right? That is just dangling a carrot to ignore from what we need in the future. Dangling a carrot is what the plebs over there on the left love to do. They love dangling a carrot and getting free money. Give me free money. Free money. I need free money. It's free money. Please give me free money. Oh, yeah, technically I get it. It's from your previous taxes that were spent on bullshit that they're currently cutting contracts to save you money. I get the logic behind it, but we should not be wanting the free money. That's not what I want. I don't want you to give me free money and be like, oh, we're giving you free money. Support us. No, you can't buy my support. The goal is to abolish the IRS. If you dangle a carrot in front of everybody, that is, in my opinion, specifically engineered to trick people in to completely ignoring the IRS still exists. Oh, look, you got some money. Guess what you have to do next year? You have to pay it back. No, thank you. Remember when stimulus checks came? You guys remember the stimulus checks? Remember the stimulus checks? And then you filed taxes the next year and you had to pay it back. You remember that? You remember that in 2021? That was fun, right? Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't care about that. I don't want your free money. I want my money. I want to keep all my money. You don't have to dangle the carrots for me. Just let me keep all my money. That is all I care about. And any of this free dangling carrot bullshit is not going to trick me into that. Don't take the bait. Keep preaching to get rid of the IRS. Keep preaching. That's what we need. That's what matters. A free few $1,000s is not going to change your life. Abolishing the IRS will. Right? That's all it is. Armenian says, hey, man, I learned about the crash while I was with family. Got to see you're good. I'm all good, baby. At least I can say I hit the wall going 190. I hit the wall faster than Anna, that Star Wars girl. Thank you, Armenian operator. I appreciate you. A fifth of the way to Naked Snake and a orange and a red boy from a rainbow night. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So, oh, yeah. John, you just cut them a check? You just paid your taxes, bro? My happy ass is extension and waiting. What are you talking about? All right, anyways, no, so not free money. So that's the logic, right, John? So the logic is technically it's not free money. It's the money that was wasted that I gave. I disagree. All the money that is saved through DOGE and their audits needs to be put in a pile, put in a big fat ass pile, okay, and stay there. And then abolish the IRS. And then whatever revenue you may need or may have for the next year, because keep in mind, we're only a few weeks in. This time next year, that stack of money from contracts canceled is going to be almost $1 billion, right? Which is not much more than the income taxes taken from people every year. So what they should do is put that in a big ass pile. Do not touch it. Absolutely do not touch it, okay? And use that next year when you need a few coins because the IRS doesn't exist, right? In this transitional period where you're trying to, get revenue from another source. But that's I do digress. Lesser Logic says, I think it's up to 55 billion. Oh, it's over 100 billion. It's over 100 billion, right? All right, but anyway, at any rate, people are still holding on to the idea that they're going to abolish the IRS, which I want, I love, I crave, and there is nothing else I want more in the world than that. But I don't think it will happen because life, it never works out, right? Life never works out. You know what I'm saying? You spend 100 grand, you wreck on lap 4, right? Life doesn't always work out. And I would love to believe that the IRS would be gone in our lifetime, but I choose to believe to believe it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the way I see things. But we'll pull this up and then we're going to pull up another video here in a second because there's a pretty based video as well. Unique says they will never abolish the IRS. Right. And I don't want to say they never will, but I'm not going to say they will. Right? The issue is because there's way too much corruption. There's way too much corruption. Politicians do not give two flying shits about you, no matter what they say. Doesn't matter who your favorite politician is. They don't care about you. They wouldn't care if you died. It does not matter. A mansion, and half of them don't even show up. They went into politics to get rich. They did not go into politics to help you. They went into politics to get wealthy. They do not care about you. To be fair, if you died, they'd probably be better off about it. Right? So, that being said, good night, Jenna. That being said, I agree it's going to be hard to get it out. Now, what I would do if I was old Trumpy Trump is I would go to these people, because keep in mind, when they go fully through the USAID and they go through the Federal Reserve and they go, the Fort Knox, and they go through every single organization, I guarantee you that most every politician on Capitol Hill, left and right, are going to be implicated in some way, shape, or form in some kind of fraud. I guarantee you almost every one of them will be implicated in some shape or form, right? Left or right, does not matter. They will probably all be implicated. So if I was old Trumpy, I would go to each and every person and say, hey, see your name right here? We have a bill going across your desk tomorrow, and there's one article on it: abolish the IRS. You get ready. Here's your name on this piece, but you see your name? You received $44 million. You see that? This bill is going to be on your desk tomorrow. Vote accordingly. But Cody, that's blackmail. No. No one said anything about what? No. They just said, hey, make sure you vote. They didn't tell you how to vote. Make sure you vote. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see happening. That's what I would do. I would do that. Oh, here's your name. John. It's John Smith right here. Look at that. Wow, 44 million. So we're voting tomorrow on this bill. We'll see what happens, right? Danny Vox says your tax money will just go to funding Elon's companies through the government contracts. The new boss is worse than the old boss. I disagree. Oh, I completely disagree. Thank you, Danny Vox. I appreciate you. I don't have any ill will towards Elon Musk. And I think all taxation is theft. And let's assume you're right, though, because I always like to do that, right? I like to have try to perspective take. Let's assume that Elon Musk is playing 5D chess and he's going in and he's trying to get every government contract for himself and enrich himself through all these things, right? Let's assume that's true. Okay. Let's assume that's true. Elon Musk is actively trying to push technology to the forefront and bring planetary change. The USAID, from what we've seen in the audit, all your tax money is going to the most insane, obviously money laundered programs that has ever existed. Like trans operas in Afghanistan and shit. I mean, come on, right? Come on. But also, let's go a step further. Elon Musk is the first person that brought up, with the exception of Ted Cruz, the first person that brought up abolishing the IRS. Okay? And now Trump is parroting it, right? If a politician is actively saying, and by the way, the number one politician, the president, is telling you, we want to abolish the IRS. And then his right-hand man, Elon, is telling you, we want to abolish the IRS. Them saying that every single day, when we haven't heard that, with the exception of Ted Cruz once a couple years ago, in 100 years, we haven't heard this. I prefer this situation more than politicians saying, well, we're going to introduce a tax cut, and this tax cut's going to lower your percentage of your bracket by $103,000. It's going to go down 1%. And if you're in the bracket, that $66,000 is going to go down by 2%. I don't care about any of that shit. That's bullshit. All that's bullshit. We're going to put a new tax plan, new tax code in place. Fuck all that. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Oh, we're going to drop your taxes in your bracket by 1%. No, thank you. I don't care. Don't care about any of that. Zero taxes. It's unconstitutional and it's theft, especially property tax. But that's another situation completely. All right, let's go.
And I'm telling you, you watch it, we're going to do it.
If you get savings from these DOGE cuts, are you going to give any of this back to the American people? We keep hearing about these DOGE dividends.
Well, think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America. Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American flag on the back? They have flags of like Liberia or Panama. None of them pay taxes. None of them pay taxes. Every super tanker, none pays taxes. Alcohol, all foreign alcohol, no taxes. This is going to end under Donald Trump, and those taxes are going to be paid, and Americans' tax rates are going to come down. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Balance our budget and cut our taxes. I mean, imagine a Democratic senator going against that. What planet are these people?
Well, I mean, Democrats are for bigger government. Of course they're against that. What? Of course Democrats are. That's the whole point. Democrats are for more taxes, bruh. Bigger government, more taxes. But they tell you that they want to help the middle class, but they end up never doing that. Very strange stuff. It's very strange when, now look, I know conservatives have their ways as well, but Democrats don't really even hide it. What Democrats will do is they'll tell you they want to help the middle class, and they're all about middle class people, and they actually grew up middle class as well. Yeah, they did too. Also, they're going to pay celebrities $20 million a pop to come sing and endorse them. You know, middle class stuff. Just some middle class stuff. You know. You know, yeah, I remember paying Snoop Dogg $10 million to play at my cousin's birthday party. You know, middle class stuff. Just middle class stuff. You know, it's all good. It's all good. But at any rate, that's the biggest thing, is abolishing the IRS. Needs to come to an end, needs to be gone immediately. And I'm tired of people saying my roads and my schools. No one cares about your roads and your schools. No one does, because it doesn't actually affect it. It doesn't actually affect it. And the funny thing is people in the IRS right now don't even realize that people hate them. Now look at this person right here. It says, I never knew how much everyday people hated government employees until now. What? Have you ever dealt with a government employee in your life? It says, I really didn't know how many people hated government employees until now. I see people celebrating layoffs and being fired abruptly. It's been jarring, to say the least. Even saw someone say they hope the government shuts down and there's no back pay. It's kind of sickening, to be honest. Yeah, your entire organization is based around threatening people at gunpoint to give you their money. That is not yours. It is not your money. A person worked 40 hours and they have to give 11 of those hours minimum to you at gunpoint. That's called theft. Yeah, people hate you. They hate you, and they have every right to hate you. Every single right to completely detest these people. And it has nothing to do with them personally. It's what they represent. They represent a machine that's built to cannibalize people that are trying to make ends meet. You can barely afford your rent, barely afford your mortgage. Your car is broken down. Oh, by the way, you know how you had $800? No, 350 of that's gone. That's going to a LGBTQ opera over in Iraq. That's where that's going to go. Now, look, you may like LGBTQ operas. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that shit at all. But I shouldn't be paying for it, right? If I was going to want to help pay for that, I would go to see one of them. And to be completely fair, I love Rocky Horror, which is kind of like that. You ever seen Rocky Horror? It's kind of like hyper gay, and I love it. I love Rocky Horror. I've seen it like 10 times. Okay, it's fantastic. Do I think my taxes should pay for Rocky Horror? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? No, thank you. No. Okay, so But yeah, obviously people hate you. People hate the IRS. Unique as me became a member. Thank you, baby. Keep in mind, every $100 super chat, I will gift 5 memberships in the chat. We had like 37 the other night. 37. Unbelievable. Mr. L says, you're making me happy like in Rocky Horror. Oh, I fucking love Rocky Horror. You know what's weird? I don't actually care for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like the movie. Now, granted, I mean, I love Tim Curry, but it does not compare to a really solid show, like a really solid Rocky Horror. I went and saw Rocky Horror my cousin Brian put on in South Carolina one time. Oh my God. It's amazing. They did such a good job. Such a good job, dude. Better, easily better than the film, easily. But at any rate, yeah, people are freaking the hell out. They cannot believe this shit. Cannot believe it. And I don't know how people are defending it. You know, it's an unwinnable position, too. Let's do the time warp again. No, it's an unwinnable position. Imagine your position is having to defend getting cannibalized. Imagine your position. And that's the reason why, you know, Democrats, and look, I don't like to even say the word Democrat or Republican, but that's just how it works nowadays. There's a reason why their approval rating is 31% and dropping. 31%. Republicans' approval rating is like 74% right now. Democrats' own approval rating is 31% based on a January 25th poll. Last time it was polled. And it's only going to drop because every single position they hold is the unpopular position and they're having to defend it, and they can't because there's no way to defend it. Defend the IRS. You can't. You just can't. This is what happens when you talk about policy. The left for the last 20 years has been running on moral grandstanding. That's all they do. And they could have done better by talking about policy, but they just wouldn't. All they talk about is oppression. We're just oppressed. We're oppressed. We're oppressed, and you're all bigots. You're all bigots, and you're fascist. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's assume all that's true. What's your policy? Well, I don't know. The last candidate couldn't even tell you a single policy that they had. Couldn't even tell you one. But of course, they had a website with 100 bullet points about all their policies, but they couldn't speak to it because they didn't write it. They had no idea what they believed. Every single day, what did Trump do? He talked about policy every day on the campaign trail. And that's why he won in a landslide. Because people are tired of you're mean and evil. No one cares. Please take my taxes away. Calling people a bigot does not lower my interest rate. Calling people a bigot does not take my property taxes away. And people are struggling. So yeah, using the moral grandstanding as your platform isn't going to work anymore. It's just not going to work anymore. And it didn't, as you can see. It didn't. It failed absolutely miserably. Miserably. But lo and behold, 6,000 IRS agents are going to be laid off tomorrow, boys. Oh, why not all, though? Why not all? I would prefer it if it was all IRS agents, to be fair. But it's all good. It's all good. We need some kind of infrastructure in place, right? Hey, Firewolf becomes a monarch. Thank you, baby. I love you, Firewolf. My boy coming in strong. It's been a minute, man. Holy balls. I just realized it's been a second. How you doing, dude? Thank you, my man. Raceland Sly says Elon is a supervillain. I'm just watching the world burn at this point while I make barbecue and make people smile with my food. Hell yeah, dude. Can't argue with that. Look, dude. Look. You could hate Elon. You could love Elon. You could hate, Harry Sizen or love him. But the best thing you can do is look, hey, man, in the grand scheme of things, that's something that's out of my control. So I'm going to make barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right. Let's continue, boys. Why not all IRS agents? Why not all? Please. Please. Get rid of all the IRS agents. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ooh. What's up, YouTube man? How you doing? Lisa Kenyon says, I liked you a lot better before you lost your mind. All my opinions I hold right now, I've held since I was like 21 years old. What? How is wanting the IRS abolished losing your mind? Damn, Lisa, what's wrong with you, girl? Come on, baby. I don't want to pay taxes anymore. You've lost your mind. You should want to give the government your money, damn it. It's like, but I don't want to. I don't want to, man. Please, God. All right. Here we go. Old Harry Balls. Let's watch this.
Harry, it's now April. Give us an update. Have you been able to find a job?
Not with the pipeline or any other thing right now, especially with the green energy projects he talked about.
I've looked for them green jobs and they're not there, and that's the reason I started a trucking company, is because there are no green jobs there. I mean, I'll look him dead in his eyes and tell him.
I lost probably 60 to 80 grand not being able to go on that job. I mean, that's my livelihood. If I'm not off working, I'm barely scraping by. I got 2 kids I'm having to support. What am I supposed to do there?
Without working.
Here's the issue. There's one party, and look, both parties probably don't really care, like, to be fair. But one party for sure vocally left these people completely behind. These everyday people at Bald Knob, what is that? Bald Knob, Arkansas? What the hell is it? Bald Knob? Bald Knob, Arkansas. All right, anyway. Bald Knob, Arkansas. Everyday people just trying to support their kids. And they're just working on a pipeline, and they all get fired and shut down. They all get fired and shut down, right? That's what happens. All fired. And there's one party that completely left these people behind in Bald Knob, Arkansas. Right? That's the issue. That is exactly the issue. At least speak to those people. Like, you got to speak to them. Even if you're not going to help, you got to speak to them.
We lose insurance, income. My whole family's unemployed. Your whole family? My whole family. So what is everybody going to do? We don't know. We'll lose everything we have that we've worked our entire lives for. Tell me a little bit about Bald Knob, Arkansas. They call it the pipeliner capital of the world. We're looking at a lot of out-of-work pipeliners right now. So what's the mood in this town right now?
It's terrible. It's terrible. You can usually this time of year you drive around, you don't see any welding rigs around. They're everywhere now.
So all of these people should be in another state working on the pipeline, and they're here.
They're all unemployed.
It's brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. And that's the issue, is I think a lot of people forget about that. A lot of people completely forget that these people exist. You know what I'm saying? Here, that's the issue, is people completely forget these people exist. And these people vote, man. You know what I'm saying? These people vote, and these are directly the people you're calling a bigot every day. Look, here's the thing, man. On the campaign trail, regardless of the politician, they were not calling. Let's say you support Kamala, or you supported Joe Biden, or you supported what have you, whoever it is, on the left. People on the right probably was, but the politicians on the right were not calling their supporters abhorrent, bad, evil people. They were saying, hey, listen to our ideas, and maybe you'll like some of our ideas and align with them, right? People on the left, the last 3 cycles, for some odd reason, just called everybody on the right Nazis. And I'm talking about the actual candidates themselves said shit like this. Joe Biden said every single MAGA supporter is a threat to democracy. You called half the people in the country evil. That closes them off as a possible voter bloc. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's ridiculous. And like, you reach your hand out to help. You don't burn their hand and say, get away from me. Ooh. Their strategy doesn't make sense. And it also leads me down a very spooky like kind of a conspiracy pipeline in my head where I'm like, wait a second. Maybe they didn't want to win. And it scares me a little. You know what I'm saying? You ever get that thought in your head where you're like, wait a second, were they purposefully trying to lose? Oh, shit. What are they planning? I don't know what they're planning. Oh, my God, please help me. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I am. So pretty spooky if you think about it. Wait a second. What's this timeline? What's this timeline, man? Thank you, Jay Gibson. I love you, dude. Yeah, Daytona was wild, man. Daytona was wild. Man, dude. So we had a good car and we were sucking up, and I was right behind Jake Finch, and I'm like, man, this is great. And my spotter, John, was like, hey, man, if you feel in danger, go up top, back out a little, let's roll to the back. And I'm like, all right, cool. And we're running, and I'm like, dude, my car is really, really comfortable. It's really solid. I'm pulling up to Jake Finch. I'm going to stay right here and just let the field play out, right? And then drop to the bottom line and chill. And lo and behold, just coming out turn 4, it's just like, woo! And I just smashed the wall. And I was like, oh, shit. And, after that, it's over. Yeah, it was wild, man. It was a wild time. My happy ass has wrecked the whole field. I wrecked everybody. Damn, son. It was rough. Yeah, I was embarrassed. Felt bad for a long time. I felt bad for a couple days. I still feel bad, but I actually legitimately was didn't want to talk to anybody for a few days. I'm like, damn. And then I talked to a bunch of team owners, a bunch of drivers, some guys in NASCAR, up in the other series and Cup and Xfinity. And everybody was really, really supportive. It's actually kind of unbelievable how supportive people are within the sport. I mean, I was talking to drivers that I've watched for 10 years that I love. I've talked to owners. I talked to all these people, and every single person was supportive. Every single person was supportive. And I was like, man, this is really nice. I had owners calling me. I talked to a couple of my sponsors. Everybody's just so supportive. And the only people that are angry are people online that will never be anywhere close to a race car in their life. And they just, are angry. That they're a detractor. That's what they do. They if you go to their if you find somebody angry at you on Twitter, go to their feed and scroll down it and go to replies. Every reply to every single person on their Twitter is them angry at somebody. They're not real people. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean they're not individuals. I mean they go to work and they get off work, or maybe they don't work, or maybe something like that. And how they kind of have an outlet to exist for camaraderie is to be negative online, right? And that's what makes them feel included. It makes them feel fulfilled, is to, it's fun. I get it. It's people that are dealing with a lot of stuff in their life, and it makes them feel better to go and just attack people online. Because it's easy. It's easy as hell. I can do it right now. I go attack everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get why they do it, and I don't really put them at fault for it. I don't get angry at them because I understand that they're likely going through some shit, and I'm not going to judge them for it. Because, you can go to my timeline right now and everybody's angry. And it's always a random profile picture. It's never a real person. It's like a profile picture of a random thing, and they're like, oh, they're just going through some shit, So I try to not be angry at those people because I get it. I get it. They're just trying to find their way, and they're trying to be included somewhere. And they'll see 1 or 2 or 3 people hating on somebody, and they'll jump right on that shit and start hating as well because they want to be included. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like being gothic when I was a kid. People are angry at the Amber Girl, number 70. Yeah, dude. And she got ripped apart on social media. That was rough, dude. It's worse when you're a girl, like me being a dude. When I mess up or what have you, I can be like, oops, I messed up, whatever, and I go home. But when you're a girl, there's all these stereotypes that you're gonna find yourself getting fit into, and people are going to attack you. And Cletus's fans were violent. I went through her comment section, and I could not believe some of the shit people were saying. People were definitely getting permabanned off of Instagram for sure. They were saying the most heinous shit I've ever seen. And I was like, damn, that sucks. And then, but luckily he put out a statement and kind of put an end to that. So that's good. All right. That's what you got to do when you see stuff like that. So, you know. All right, let's continue, boys. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Oh, let's make music together, baby. All right. Goth is not a phase, it's a way of life. Do you think Twitter warps your political perspective? My political perspective? No. I don't. There are probably 3 to 4 days a week where I don't even like open Twitter. Right? There's a lot of people that scroll on Twitter probably 14 hours a day. Normal ass people. And they do it on every app, right? It's Twitter. Some people do it on TikTok. Some people do it on Facebook, right? The best thing you can do is perspective take and try to objectively think about certain things. Hence why people are saying I have a bad take with the dividend money. I don't think the dividend money from Doge that Trump is offering is a good idea. I think it's stupid, and I think it's dangling a carrot to get people to hush money. I don't like hush money. I do not like when any politician is offering free money. I don't like that. That's bullshit, and it's a diversion. It's always a diversion when somebody's offering you free money, and I've never supported it, especially when it's the government. If the government says, do you want some free money? I say, hell no. Do what you said you were going to do. That's what you need to do. Do what you said you're going to do. Do not give people hush money. So right now, Doge, Elon Musk, and the president or what have you, they're throwing around this idea of it's called Doge dividends. And they're talking about sending a check to all Americans, like taxpayers, a couple $1,000s of money that, you know, your tax money went towards, and it went towards bullshit, you know, stuff overseas or what have you, from what they found in the USAID audit, right? So they're trying to be like, oh, okay, cool. Here's this money back. Keep in mind, the money is already spent, but that's neither here nor there. Here's this money back because we wasted your money. That's good on paper. It's good on paper. The issue is when you're offering people hush money that you're going to have to pay back next year, it detracts from the overall goal, which is abolishing the IRS. I don't need free money. I need all my money. I don't need free money and then next February I have to pay it back. I need all my money. Do not give me free money. Do not offer everybody free money for your support. Well, if you give me, because what does that trigger? Oh, guess what happens next election cycle? Oh, well, we didn't abolish the IRS, but if you vote for us, we'll abolish it this time, right? It's kind of like how Biden last cycle was like, oh yeah, we didn't ratify Roe v. Wade or what? We'll do it this time though if you vote for us. We'll do it this time if you vote for us. No, you do what you say you're going to do or you get the hell out. And if Trump doesn't abolish the IRS within this 4-year period, if he does not abolish the IRS, he will lose my support and the people and team around him will lose my support for eternity, in perpetuity, forever. Find a way to get it done and do it. Do not dangle carrots in front of me. Oh, here's some free money. And I know it sounds good. And I know it's really, really hard for people to turn down free money. Everybody wants some free damn money. But when you start saying you want some free money and you start championing that free money, right? You start championing that free money, you're no better than the people on the left that were championing the same shit. They just wanted free money. Just because the money wasn't coming towards you doesn't mean you should support it and then don't support it because it's your side. I do not support free money coming to people that want it on the left, and I do not support free money for people that want it coming on the right. No one should get free money. Free money is not the way to go. The goal is to abolish the IRS. That is the number one goal. Do that now. Find a way. Oh, well, there's a lot of hoops we got to jump through. Jump through the fucking hoops. Oh, there's a lot of things in our way. Make them not in your way anymore. It's simple as that. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of hoops. Jump through them. There's a lot of people in the way. Take them down. Do what you said you're going to do. That's the end of it. And if they don't, they lose my support forever. And they better freaking heed that shit because a lot of people feel the same way. You can cut a lot of government contracts and you can take women out of men's sports. That's great and all, but that doesn't affect me. Abolish the IRS. No, a corporate tax rate would still exist, Cypher. Exactly, Holy Ozone. Exactly. Exactly. What the hell are you talking about, Dog Brewski? By the way, we are a fifth of the way to Naked Snake. We're one red boy and an orange boy from a rainbow night in Super Chats. This will be the 422nd Naked Snake. Don't forget. Big shout out to Billy. He's the only pink boy today. I appreciate you, Billy. Holy Ozone's the only gold boy today. I appreciate you, Holy Ozone. Love you, dude. Get the hell on it, doggone it. All right, let's continue. It's time for some. It's time for the Asmongold hour, everybody. It's the Asmongold hour. Wee. Yeah, Josh, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oof. Yeah, I agree with that, Anonymous. So here's the issue. In Cypher, I don't entirely disagree, right? But here's my entire issue. Thinking the IRS will never be abolished and basing your line of thought around that and in an attempt to say we shouldn't even try is not good enough. Well, it's never going to be abolished. We should stop trying. No, fuck that. We should push every single day for it and repeat it every single day. It's never going to happen. Don't care. Push it. Talk about it every day. Every single day. Every single day. 100%. And why should corporations pay a huge tax rate? Bring every corporation into the U.S. Bring every manufacturer into the U.S. Everybody, everything, every company, bring them into the U.S. Make everything here. Squid! Gay? Squid, my boy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Squid coming in strong with a big, fat, delicious orange boy. I love you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, dude. I love you, dude. Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right. All right, let's continue. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I was reading. Thank you, Squid. I love you, dude. I appreciate you. Danny Box says, do you identify as an anarcho-capitalist? I don't identify as anything. I'm not passionate enough to call myself anything. I would say, what's an anarcho-capitalist? Somebody that believes in private ownership, kind of like that. Private ownership, free markets, no taxation. Is that anarcho-capitalist? Because that sounds pretty glorious. All right. Yeah. Vespasian, the glory of Rome is forever. Oh, we are now a red boy from a rainbow night. There were two Roman senators that were brothers called Gracchi brothers who offered free bread to everyone in Rome, and their actions ended in civil war and the end of the Republic. History says you're not wrong. Spur. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, man. Are you saying I'm not wrong or I am wrong? Thank you, Vespasian. I love you, dude. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tristan says, I love you, Vespasian. It'll never be abolished, that attitude. We all need to fight the good fight. It only existed since the 1910s, which means the country existed for longer without the IRS. Yep, 100%. 100% agree. And 99% of your money that you send to the IRS goes into military budgets. It doesn't go towards your roads and schools. I'm sorry. Sure doesn't. That's your property and gas tax. No, no, no. No, thank you. That's how that works. Nope. Mm-mm-mm. So, pretty much just add no safety regulations. Safety regulations for what? For like manufacturing or like, what are you talking about? I do think there should be less regulation on everything. Yeah. Especially statewide. Now, look, I mean, states have their own rights, right? But God, I can't stand that. The fact you can't have like a loud car, you can't have straight pipe exhaust. You have to go through so many hoops in Maryland to get a car registered. It's insane. It's insane. In Alabama, I can take a NASCAR race car in Alabama. No shit. I can take a NASCAR race car in Alabama, apply for a kit car title, and drive that shit around every day. Drive it around every day. All right. That's because Alabama's based. Alabama's based as hell.
Very much. What a great group this is. You have to see outside. It's going wild outside with a lot of love for all of us, I guess. But thank you, Richard, for the introduction, and thank you to all for such a warm welcome. It's great to be back in beautiful Miami, where I've actually built a lot of great buildings with the Desert family and some others. We've had tremendous success in Miami. We have Trump Towers and Sunny Isles Beach.
Yeah.
It's 4 beautiful buildings right on the ocean. The Trump Grande, put the little E in the end for a little, class it up a little bit. Trump Grande and the...
How can you not like this man? He put the little E on the end of it to make it a little classy. Come on.
700-acre Doral. It's a tremendous country club, and it's actually the most successful country club
this
in
is
the
just
US,
him talking
where
about his...
I was just given approval to build 1,500 units, and I couldn't care less about building units. When you're
Wow.
president, who the hell wants to build units? I've been building units all my life. I don't want to build units, but they gave us permission to do it.
That's crazy.
But today is a tremendous honor. Become the first American president to address the Future Investment Initiative Institute. That's the first one. That's very it's always
Wow. Future Investment Institute Initiative.
And I want to thank Mayor.
Yeah, Reagan brings up a good point here. It says, can Rat abolish HOAs after we abolish? Can we abolish the HOAs? Yeah, I don't know how HOAs exist. I guess you voluntarily enter into them, but I don't know how they exist. HOAs are so strange to me. Now, I got to be completely transparent. I have never lived in an HOA because I would never live in one. Whenever I'm, purchasing a new home, I immediately go to no HOA when I'm searching like Zillow or something, right? And when I go look at the house, I will actually talk to my realtor and say, just making sure this is not in an HOA, right? And they'll confirm or deny it. And I ask it every other day just to confirm there's no HOA, right? I ask it every day. I will absolutely not live in an HOA. Never. That shit's insane. I just don't know how they exist. But to take it a step further, how do property taxes exist? Like, how does that exist? That's insane. Imagine you pay off your house in 1974, and then you're on your deathbed in 2025, and you leave your house to your kids, and then you die, and then your kids owe $74,000 in property tax, and they can't pay it, and your house that you paid off in 1972 gets auctioned off by a bank. How you don't even own your home. You're just renting the land. It's insane. How does that even exist? It's freaking crazy, man.
Miami, Francis Suarez, for being here. Thank you very much, Francis, wherever you may be. Hi, Francis. And thank you for the endorsement when I ran. I was very appreciative. Along with the mayor of Miami Beach, Stephen Miner. Stephen, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And numerous American business leaders, some of the biggest business leaders actually anywhere in the world, and many distinguished guests from the Middle East, and in particular, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a special place with special leaders.
I hope I get to go to Saudi Arabia. I want to go.
And including FII Institute Chairman and Governor of the Public Investment Fund, which is a seriously big fund. Yasser, I see you there. Stand up, Yasser. Everyone knows Yasser.
Isn't this very jarring? The fact that Trump does this like 5 times a day, and Biden did public appearances like once a year and took no questions. That was a very weird time. Wasn't that a very strange time where you couldn't even talk to your politician? And I mean, I guess we can all finally admit it now. I mean, we all talked about it for a long time, but it was like a kind of a unwritten rule where you were not allowed to talk about Joe Biden being obviously senile. That was the weirdest thing. Like, there was actually a time in our country's history where the president was quite literally had no idea where he was for years. And they just rolled him around like weekends at Bernie's. That's weird. That's crazy. Rant says it's happening a lot all over the country for farmers, families for decades. Families hit with $1 million bills they can't pay, so they lose the farm. Yep. It's all by design. It's all by design, man. Shekhar, where are you at, baby? Shekhar says, what's your opinions on military and veterans? I adore veterans, and we should support our veterans for sure. As far as the military, I don't really have an opinion on the military. I've never been in the military, and I don't know the inner workings of the military other than the budgets and how they're overblown and proportionally ridiculous. I don't support really what the military does, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say. A lot of people don't understand. They think that the military is on their side, right? Like, we all kind of have this weird understanding that we think is true, that the military is on your side. And I'm talking domestically, right? Like, if there was a domestic civil war or a domestic dispute and the military came in, you would assume they're on your team, right? And I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but hear me out. You assume the military is on your team, right? As an American citizen. But if there was an order that came down from their commanding officer to take out all the civilians in a small city area that are American citizens, they would do it without question. A lot of people have this weird understanding that, oh no, the military would never turn on their own people. What? Yeah, they 100% would. Yeah, they would definitely fire on their own people. So as far as like the military itself, I don't really like for that. I don't really like the idea behind our current state of the military, but I do think veterans need to be taken care of. What's up, Spock Insanity? How you doing, baby? You doing good? I'm doing good, baby. Hey, make sure you guys like the stream, by the way. What's up? What's up, baby? Oh, by the way, we're 350 until Naked Snake for the 422nd stream in a row, and one red boy from a Rainbow Night, and then I will gift 5 gifted memberships. Every red boy, every $100 super chat, 5 gifted memberships to the chat, baby. Hell yeah. The military would not do that. The police would. Oh, the military would 100% do that. The police, they probably would too. I would say the police would hesitate way more if it's their local government, like their local area. The military being like shipped in, yeah, they would totally do it without question. Of course they would. Right? I don't see why they wouldn't.
Go to Yemen. I'm an analyst.
Great guy.
Go to Yemen.
Great person.
Well, money.
And finance.
How about that?
Minister Mohammed, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you very much. Good to see you again. That's pretty good. Finance minister of that part of the world. That's not bad. Other parts of the world, not so good, but that one is good. And many other senior government leaders. I also want to recognize the kingdom's ambassador to the United States, Her Royal Highness Princess Rima. Ooh, very popular.
Would I wear the traditional garb?
Very popular.
As long as it wasn't seen as disrespectful, I'd love to.
Wow. That's very nice. Sitting next to Elon.
Absolutely.
Wow, you couldn't do better than that, huh? As well as my own special envoy to the Middle East, who's really done a fantastic about weaponization, and total incompetence will be gone forever.
34 felonies.
Gone forever. Because the United States is back and open for business, and the golden age of America has officially begun. You see it happening.
Isn't another thing that's kind of jarring is the rhetoric around like current politics, like current politicians in power, obviously speaking specifically of Trump and people around Trump. They talk about how great America is and how we're turning America around, and this is the golden age of America. You've never heard that shit with the prior administration. The prior administration, all they talked about is how racist everybody was and how we all should be ashamed every day. And I'm like, what? Come on, man. Like, you want to feel proud of where you're from. You want to feel there's nothing wrong with being proud of where you're from. You know what I'm saying? And we've been constantly, like, it's been drilled into our heads that we're bad people. By the way, give us your tax money, you bad person.
My election, America's economic engines have come roaring back to life in just a very short period of time. Think of it, from November 5th, the progress that's been made has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The NASDAQ is up nearly 10% in just a few months.
Wow.
And that's a lot.
Wow.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 2,200 points, and Bitcoin has set multiple all-time record highs because everyone knows that I'm committed to making America the crypto capital we want to stay.
Is it good?
we want to stay at the forefront of everything, and one of them is crypto, and Miami seems to be the center of the action, come to think of it. And maybe it'll stay there. Business optimism skyrocketed 42 points. Think of that in a single month, the most in history by far. That's the biggest increase in history by not even close. The ISM index of manufacturing activity surged into positive territory for the first time in many years. Amazing. And it was just announced. This is an interesting one. I didn't realize it was that bad for so long, but it was just announced by one of the nation's most historically accurate and respected pollsters, Rasmussen, that the number of Americans who believe our country is on the right track now exceeds those who think it's heading in the wrong direction for the first time in 20 years. Can you believe that? 20 years.
Damn. See, there's good energy. There's good energy, right? It's good energy, man. What's up, Dr. Butcher? That's why you get armed. I mean, I have AR-15s and everything, but military rolls up, bro. It's over. Military rolls up on your ass. It's over, buddy. Sucks. You know what I'm saying? Baby number 14. Hell yeah, Elon. Elon be just having the babies. What's up, Elizabeth Lyons? How you doing, baby? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, baby. We are 350 until Naked Snake. I appreciate all the support tonight, guys. You guys are goated. One red boy from a Rainbow Night and Super Chats. I want to reach out and say thank you guys for supporting your boy. I took some days off racing in Daytona. Had a rough weekend, and the support means a lot. I know last stream was crazy. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much for all your love.
That's crazy.
And this is really a seismic 27-point swing from just before the election. Nobody's ever seen anything like that one yet, sir.
Nobody's seen it.
That's a big one. The best and most successful business leaders on earth are now racing to invest in the United States. Since November, DMAC has announced plans to invest $40 billion in the U.S., creating at least 10,000 jobs. SoftBank has announced investments of between $100 and $200 billion, creating at least 100,000 American jobs. Oracle and OpenAI and SoftBank are now collectively committing $500 billion to keep the United States on the cutting edge of artificial intelligence.
Oh, that's Stargate.
So many more. I mean, so many companies that want to come to the White House and have a little news conference all the time.
Scam Altman.
Why don't you just announce it? But they want to come, and I'll do that. I don't mind doing that.
That's a good one. Elon should start using
10 billion or more. I'm there.
Yeah.
10 billion or more. But on his recent visit to the White House, the Prime Minister of Japan announced he anticipates Japanese investment in the United States of well over $1 trillion.
Damn.
We're working on an Alaska pipeline already, which is the closest point to Asia. And as you know, the NWAR, which we've started, Ronald Reagan couldn't get it approved. Nobody could get it approved for so many years. Couldn't get it approved. I got it approved. Actually, I got it approved twice. I got it approved and Biden ended it. That was a shocker. But we just got it approved again. And we're going to be...
wow.
It's probably the largest deposit maybe anywhere in the world just by itself. It's they say of similar size.
I bet you probably could have gotten it approved 3 times if you had to.
But all of this is only happening because of the world-changing results of the 2020.
See, when so many things are getting approved so fast, it makes you feel hopeful that big changes like the IRS getting abolished happens. And you got to think to yourself, right? That would be the biggest change, the biggest effect to the American people in over 100 years. Think about that. When is the last time a president made a change that was so life-altering for every single person in the U.S.? When's the last time you remember something like that happening? Can somebody in the chat name that? Like, when's the last time you remember something like that happening? If the IRS is abolished. And keep in mind, the 6,000 employees are being laid off tomorrow. The 87,000 that were hired are being laid off. Right. The Patriot Act in 2001. Is that the one where they're allowed to spy on your ass? Let's see. Purpose to help the law enforcement and intelligence agencies to share information on identity, illegal money laundering, to make it harder for terrorists to launder money, provide tools to pursue terror. Yeah. So basically what that did is using the word terrorist to describe these people made it to where you could label anybody as a terrorist and go after them. Right? So basically any person at all could be labeled a terrorist for whatever action they deem to be labeled as such, and you could spy on that person legally, right? You were like 3 in 2001? Me? 3 years old? How old do you think I am, Promise? How old do you think I am? They still find creative ways to take money. Oh, yeah, for damn sure. For damn sure. But we need the creative ways to take less money, right? What's up, creative username? How you doing, dude? How old do you think I am, man?
24 election. We won the House, we won the Senate, the White House, and the Electoral College, and the popular vote in a landslide. We also won all 7 swing states, and all 50 states shifted in the Republican direction for the first time ever. So every state.
How do you defend that? Like, how do you rectify that in your mind? Like, let's say you identify as like a Democrat or something, or a leftist or a liberal, whatever you call yourself. How do you rectify losing everything? Do you think it's a conspiracy? Do you think or do you think people are actually like annoyed? Like, people are just tired of this bullshit, right? People are just tired. Their paychecks are getting smaller. They're going a less of a distance. And nothing's changing. No longer are the days existing to where you can say, oh, you're going to lower taxes theoretically on the middle class, and it's going to entice people to do anything. Big sweeping changes have to happen, or people will not be happy. You have to start directly affecting the American people, because the last 100 years, it's been trickling, slowly hurting people more. Every single year that rolls by, people are in worse shape every single year. It needs to be like Milei in Argentina, right? Like, Milei comes in Argentina and completely turns the country around in 2 seconds. Magnificent Devil says to think Trump voters regret voting for him. Well, the only people that think Trump voters regret voting for them are people that hate Trump. They just keep saying, bro, the price of eggs. No one voted for Trump over the price of eggs. They voted for Trump for sweeping, completely irreversible change. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and you no longer have to pay income tax. That would be the biggest change in 100 years. And to be completely fair, yeah, there's going to be people on the left trying to deem it a bad thing, but secretly they like it. Secretly, they like it. And the only way they don't like it is if they don't really have a job, or they work part-time and they don't actually pay into taxes, and they get a $10,000 tax return every year. And those people don't really matter. Let's be completely fair. If you're sitting there working part-time and your biggest claim to getting out of poverty is waiting for your tax return in February, you're not a legitimate person to be commenting on any of these issues. Right? I've never liked people that wait around waiting for their favorite politician to get into power before they actually try to do anything. Well, I'll start that new band whenever this tax code's put in place. Or, I'll start that new project if this politician wins. Or I can't wait for this politician to get into office, and then I'll actually be able to do something. No. If you're not willing to hustle when you're in a worse spot, you're not going to be willing to hustle when you're in a better spot. That makes no sense. The whole point of hustling or making yourself better is getting through strife. Therefore, if you're in a worse position, you are facing more strife that you have to get out of, and you learn from and make yourself better, and you rise above and you learn how to hustle. If you're already in a good spot, you don't need to hustle. It doesn't make any damn sense. I see a lot of people do that too. They're like, oh, I can't do anything right now. Something, right?
Yep. Every single state of the 50 states shifted.
That's crazy, by the way.
It's never happened before.
That's insane.
Either way, it's never happened. And 85% of counties voted for Trump. Think of that. So you have 2,600 counties versus 525. 2,600. Think of that. That's why when you look at the election map after it was all done, the certified map, the whole thing was red.
What does this have to do with anything?
2,600 versus 500.
How long? How long are we going to go on about this?
Nobody's seen anything like it, actually. So as a result of this very historic victory, investors from all over the planet once again have confidence.
Dark Horse says, get ready to raise some chickens and grow your own food. I'm all about it. I'm already planning on getting some chickens. I have a chicken area in my backyard ready for chickens, dude. I'm ready for the chickens, dude. Let's go. It's time for chicken hour. Make sure you like the stream and order of chickens. One red boy from a rainbow night. Get on it, doggone it.
In America's future and respect for America's leaders. And it's about time we get a little respect. The last administration was the worst and most incompetent in the history of our country, but we are moving quickly to fix every
Damn.
single disaster Joe Biden created and make America stronger and more prosperous than ever before.
That's good. That's good. You want America good.
Our first and most urgent mission is to remove the criminals that Biden allowed into our country with the ridiculous and very dangerous
That was the ASMR
open
video.
borders policy. They came from all over the world. They came from prisons and jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They were gang members. They were drug lords. They came from all over, and they were allowed to come into our country. And we're getting them out in record levels, just like they came in record levels. I want to thank Tom Homan and Christie, who was.
It's not a record. You got to hire Obama back. Bring Obama.
You ever think that how insane that is, if you think about it? How there was quite literally millions upon millions of illegal immigrants coming into the country, and the only reason they were coming into the country was to bolster votes for the left party. And there was literally no other reason why they were there. And also, of course, these people like cheap labor, right? And the mask kind of slips sometimes. You know what I'm saying? The mask will slip a lot. You ever see a leftist politician or maybe a leftist supporter on a talk show and they say the quiet part out loud where they're like, well, who's going to pick our crops and clean our toilets? And they say it unironically with a straight face. They're not joking. Right? They want cheap labor and they want free votes. And there was a ton of these people that were killing and hurting people. And they would go to jail for a day and be released. How do you rectify that? Right? How do you rectify that? That's insane. That's insane. Creative username says cheap labor means cheap prices. So are you in favor of hiring illegal immigrants for cheap labor at lower rates? So rectify this for me, creative username, because this is something I've kind of thought about for a while. How is it that people on the left say everyone deserves the right to pay their rent or their mortgage if they work 40 hours no matter where they work? Everyone has the right to earn a living wage. We don't really know how much a living wage is, but we say that, right? Everybody on the left says everybody deserves a living wage, but they also say that they want illegal labor because it's cheap and they want to pay illegal immigrants less than minimum wage. So what is it exactly? So what do people on the left actually believe? I think I remember you're on the left, right? So explain that to me. Why do people on the left want illegal labor at below minimum wage cost, but they also want to pay people a livable wage? How do you believe both things, right? How do you believe both? I don't think there should be any illegal labor, obviously. I think it's pretty bad that illegals are being paid garbage wages. Yeah, sure. Thank you, creative username. Appreciate you. Because I've always wanted that. But of course, like I said earlier, the mask slips, and it's we want slave wage, basically. Child labor and slave labor. B. Who will pick your crops? Yeah, dude, love it. I used to be a centrist, then moved to now an extreme right wing. Yeah, I kind of was the same way. I'm the same way, right? I used to be kind of a centrist, and now I'm kind of more right, I think, than anything nowadays. Creators need to, you're gonna have to repeat that. Okay, so basically what I was saying is, the leftist belief structure is everybody deserves a livable wage, right? So this is what people on the left will say: everybody deserves a livable wage. If you work 40 hours, you should be able to pay your bills no matter what. Livable wage. But these same people say we need illegals to do undocumented work so we can pay them less than minimum wage. So does everybody deserve a livable wage, or should we pay illegals less than minimum wage? And how do they believe the same thing? How can you believe the same thing? How can you believe everybody deserves a livable wage, but also they don't? Right? Because I was thinking about that the other day. Because somebody was like, we need these wages because prices. And I'm like, wait a second, hold on. But I thought everybody deserved a livable wage. Now they're saying that they don't. I agree, Jay Sledge. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Jay Sledge? We're 350 away from Naked Snake. We got about an hour left, though, so we're good to go. Don't forget, 350 till Naked Snake on this beautiful Wednesday. One red boy from a rainbow night, and that'll put us exactly halfway to the snaky snake. How are illegals paying taxes? Oh, well, they ain't. Dark Horse says abolish minimum wage. I agree. When I was a teenager and in my very, very early 20s, I was all about minimum wage, right? Because I was dumb. Now I'm all about abolishing it. There should not be a minimum wage, yeah. Whew. Reconcile. Yeah. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah. Why do I always say rectify for some reason? I don't know why. Right? They don't have an SSN. I think they probably do have an SSN. I mean, did you see there was people that were 350 years old that were getting Social Security checks and they were cashing them? There was people that were 350 years old cashing Social Security checks. How?
Obama back. He'll take care of it.
And Tom Homan, and they are doing a fantastic job. And the results are incredible. And every country is taking them back. They're sending their criminals to us, and they're all taking them back. We had a little problem with a couple of them that ended very quickly. And because some said, we don't really want MS-13 back in our country. But I said, congratulations, you're taking them back.
MS-13, those are like
by the way,
bad
Europe
guys.
and other places ought to start also doing that. They better start looking at immigration because it's really hurting Europe very, very badly. And they better get smart and they better get tough before it's too late. We're also working to end the highest inflation in our country's history, all caused because they played with our energy policy and wasted money on the Green New Scam and other things such as that. And they wasted monies at never seen before levels. If Joe Biden had simply held federal spending at the pre-pandemic levels we had in 2019, we would have virtually no inflation. We're trying to balance the budget immediately, and because of the tariff income, which is really it's already turned out to be amazing. Actually, it's really meant more for bringing countries and companies into our country. But it's
is the teleprompter
the numbers are rather staggering.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
That's what
we should bring every manufacturing job here. Ken Adams says, I always thought you were a smart guy. Shit, that's a mistake, buddy. You thought I was smart, Ken? What were you thinking? Ken, come on, man. The first thing I say every day when I get out of bed is I'm not a smart man, but I try. Okay. Marion Haltzman, here we go. It is a rainbow night. Jay says my mortgage is less than $2,000. My mortgage is closing in on $5,000, man. Whew, it's getting rough. My property taxes, my mortgage was $3,300. And then my property tax went up $8,000 in 1 year. And my mortgage went to $4,400 overnight. Woo! It's freaking crazy. And then I called my mortgage company and they thought I was lying. And then they looked it up and they're like, oh my God. And I was like, man, help. Someone help. Someone please help. Send an ambulance. Woo! Why did that happen? I don't know, man. My house got appraised. So I bought my house for $500,000 in 2021. 2021 maybe, or 2020. I don't remember anymore. And it got appraised like 2 years later for almost $800,000. And I guess the value of it going up plus the property tax in my area just skyrocketing all combined to hell. Hell. Yeah, wow, is not something you want to hear from your lender. Yeah, they were like, wow. Marion Halston says cheap illegal labor gets welfare benefits, rent, food, health care, phones, cash. They take far more than they add to our economy, and they live in substandard quarters. America has paid for these benefits. Yeah, and we need to get rid of all of it. All of it. Marion Haltzman gets us halfway to Naked Snake. We're now only 250 away from Naked Snake. Everybody give Marion Haltzman some love for supporting your boy today. I appreciate you, Marion. I'm going to heart your super chat. Thank you so much. It's a huge drop for your boy, Marion. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. That's halfway to Naked Snake in just one hit. Halfway to Naked Snake. Let me gift some memberships. Every $100 super chat, I gift 5 memberships, and today is no exception. Here we go. 5 gifted memberships for some people in the chat. Let's see who gets them. Yeah. Thank you, Marion. I love you. Appreciate you. Terminator gets one. Who else gets one? Bubster gets one. Misty gets one. Frozen Toy and the Armenian Operator. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys so much. And thank you, Marion Hossman, for triggering the gifted memberships. We love you and we appreciate you so much. Thank you, baby. Marion Hossman, everybody. Let's give her a round of applause. Halfway to Naked Snake. Thank you, Marion. And thank you for the delicious explanation there. I like it. Thank you. Oh, and look at Master Lions. He's following it up. Master Lions obviously gifts 5 memberships as well with every Red Boy, apparently. So, Big Country, Kathy Trout, Danu Vox, Bob Reed, and Cupo Dio get a membership. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you, Master Lions. I love you, dude. I love you, man. Thank you, baby. And even Holy, what is going on right now? Wayne Jackson, Saifa Borg, Greg Buhan, Ghost Meteor. Oh, what's up, dude? And Dina B gets a gifted membership. Thank you. That's 15 back to back to back. Thank you, Rob. I love you, Rob. Thank you, man. Rob coming in strong. I appreciate you guys. We're closing in on Naked Snake on this illustrious Wednesday. Thank you.
And they can play games and they can say, well, there'll be retribution and, equal this and that, but they can't be equal.
All right.
But we want to keep it so that we're the big piggy bank. And if we had years like we did the last 4 years, that wouldn't have lasted too long. So we're not promising it, but all of these things could happen. We hope to balance our budget. So I don't want to promise it, because if I do and we come about $10 short, the fake news media back there would say, we have breaking news. He did not make it. He did not make it. But we'll get it done very soon. It might not be this year, but it could be this year. Actually, we have a chance at getting it even this year, which people would be shocked at, because they were talking about 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now. When I took office last month, we inherited the consequences of inflation. That was more than 4 times what it was when I left 4 years ago.
It's wild. Absolutely. Nina Infinity, you okay? Yeah, what's up? I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. I'm doing good, baby. I hit the wall head on, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I appreciate you. We're doing good. We got a race in 2 weeks. I'm very excited to get back in the car and do some stuff. So I can't wait. I hope you're doing well, Nina. I'm doing good. Big Country. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good. No, it's all good. Hey, man, Daytona. It's Daytona, man. Stuff like that happens. But I can't wait to go to Phoenix and go hard. You think Trump's doing good? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing, Big Country. Trump is doing something. For far too long, politicians just don't do anything. They say they're going to do all these things, and then they get in office and they do nothing. Oh, look, another 5,000-page bill was passed that no one read. You know what I'm saying? Trump's doing shit. And not only is he doing stuff, every day he does it in public, live on camera. The previous administration, they wouldn't even ask the president a question. They weren't even allowed to ask him a question. The first time you saw him answer questions was during the debate. And then everybody was like, whoa, this dude is gone. Like he was so senile in that debate that everyone had no idea. Did you notice that? No one even knew. No one even knew. Like all the normies, and I don't say normie in a negative way. Everybody always say, oh, normies is a mean term. No, I'm saying people that are not invested in this kind of stuff. I get it. They found out for the first time that the person in office was literally should have been in a home 10 years ago. And now we have the current administration every day, 10 times a day, live on camera doing shit. showing the audit. They're showing the audit. They're showing everything, every step of the way. That everything they do, they're doing it on camera live. That's crazy. It's crazy. Donna, awesome about the NASCAR 25 video game. We get to drive the Tim Cast machine. I sure hope the income tax goes away that I can pay my car off faster. Yeah, you and me both. Thank you, Donna. I love you. I appreciate you. Donna with a gold boy. Donna. Thank you, Donna. We love you. We appreciate you.
Go. Think of that. I left. It was at 1.4%. And the annual government spending over $1.5 trillion more than projected in 2020 alone. 1.5 trillion. But under the Trump administration, all of that is changing faster and more dramatically than anyone ever thought possible. They didn't think it was possible to do what we've done in just a very short period of time. We've accomplished more in 4 weeks than most administrations accomplish in 4 years. On my first day in office, I imposed an immediate federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, and a foreign aid freeze. I signed an order creating the Department of Government Efficiency and put a man named Elon Musk in charge. Thank you, Elon, for doing it.
Yeah, I heard about that. Because I like that meme dog. Remember that? Remember the meme dog?
I've seen him last night.
Yeah, that's the government now.
A committed person.
Welcome to the government.
He's a very serious person. And he's a very high IQ people. You know, I like high IQ people. Not all have to be, but, you know, it'd be nice to have some people.
See, Trump wouldn't like me because I'm a very low IQ person. Magnificent Devil says, need a Cyberfrog car. It's the best car ever. No, I love the Cyberfrog car. The issue is I think I'm pretty, as far as what I've discussed with the people that work, you know, over at the game, I think we're only allowed to have one paint scheme. So that's the issue, right? But the Cyberfrog car is sweet. It's right here. It's going to roll around. I don't have the glue sticks on it, so it's going to roll, but it's right there. Cyberfrog car. Just a chillin'. It's beautiful. The certificate of authenticity says 1 of 1 on it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they only let us have one paint scheme. So we need to find a way to incentivize corporations to keep prices on products fair while paying employees fairly, illegal or not. Yeah. Okay. So you used a very, very interesting word. Incentivize. I agree. The word is important because without the word, we have to lean on because they have good hearts, and no one does that. Right? No one is going to put themselves in poverty to help other people. Even though they say they will, they won't, right? So yes, incentivize is the correct word. Maybe there's some kind of corporate tax issue in the future, and maybe paying people, maybe keeping their products under like a national average gets them some kind of huge tax break. I don't really know. I'm not an expert on that field, but incentive is a good word. Resources being spent on deportation should be allocated to stopping more illegal immigrants from entering the U.S. No, I don't. I disagree. No, mass deportations need to happen. For sure. Do both. Why not both? No, okay, say here we go, creative username. You know all that money that they're claiming that they think they might want to send back to the American people, the DOGE dividends? Use that. Right? I don't need the money. I need the progress.
Up there that he's a seriously high IQ individual. Now he's got his faults also, I will tell you that. But not too many of them, which is now really waging war on government waste, fraud, and abuse, and curbing inflation and saving taxpayers billions and billions of dollars every single day. There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the DOGE savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt, which is, if you look at value, if it were a real estate balance sheet, the debt is tiny, but we still want to pay it down. Doesn't matter. We don't look at it as a piece of real estate.
Yeah, bro, it's fake.
We're going to get it down through intelligence.
That's a good idea.
And that's one of the things I don't agree with. I don't think we should be giving away free money. Right? I don't like hush money. Maybe somebody can convince me otherwise, though.
Work, and as Elon said, a word called caring. You have to care. By doing this, Americans will tell us Where there's waste, they'll be reporting it themselves.
What are you guys going to do with your DOGE
participate
check?
in the process of saving money. So many of the men and women in this room, as an example, they pay tremendous amounts of taxes.
I was going to buy Trump coin.
And here are just a few examples of where your money was going before I came along. These are just some of the, just taken at random. Oh, there are much worse examples than this. I was just looking at them before the speech, and I can tell you they were much worse. And there are some that are horrible, but I don't want to really say them because they're very, very embarrassing people. Very, very embarrassing. And they're really something, but you'll be seeing it and you will be reading about it. But just some taken at random. $2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala.
Wow.
$20 million for Sesame Street performances in Iraq. $20 million, that's a lot of money.
For Sesame Street, yeah.
I know what it costs to do those things. You get a cast over for $50,000. Give them a couple of bucks tip. That's it, not 20 million. 20 million, that's gone with the wind on steroids.
Yeah, what do you need 20 million for that? That's insane. 100 grand, that's all you get. 100 grand, baby. Marion Hall. Look at this. Marion Hall. She's trying to get us the naked snake. She's trying. She's trying with a pink boy. 30 likes until 300, by the way. She says, I don't want the money from the government. Put systems in place that makes this never happen again and use the rest to deport. Yeah, I agree. Deport and abolish. Deport and abolish. Deport and abolish. That should be deport and abolish. DNA. Deport and abolish. That's what we need to repeat. Thank you, Marion. Everybody give Marion some love. I'm going to love her super chat. I loved it. I want you to reply to her super chat in the chat with hearts. Marion Haltzman, always supporting your boy in such a huge way. I don't deserve it, but I am forever grateful. And that puts us 150 until naked snake. Thank you so much, Marion. I appreciate you, baby. Marion Haltzman. Oh, Magnum Norse. Why you wait, Cam? You looking for that Gucci Woochie? What the hell are you talking about? Wait, are you high? Are you on LSD? What the hell are you talking about, Magnum Norse? What the hell? Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that, dude. My boy.
$101 million for 29 diversity, equity, and inclusion contracts at the Department of Education. Wow.
This guy.
And we've also canceled all of these, saved all of this money. And again, this is just a small sample. This could go on. I could read them all day. $520 million for a consultant. I want to know who is that consultant.
Yeah. Who's that guy?
To do ESG. That's
$520 million for a consultant. Trump's like, I want to meet that guy. Damn. Can that be me? I want to be the consultant. Woo! Imagine your salary being $500 million. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Come on. I'll be your consultant today, baby.
Environmental, social, and governance investments.
That's making games gay, by the way.
$25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and illicit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in Colombia. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that even means. None of this stuff. Everyone's trying to figure out what the hell does it all mean? $42 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda.
Did it work?
40 million is a lot of newspaper ads in Uganda.
Did it work?
$70 million
Are they
for
different
research
now?
of evidence-based solutions for development challenges.
No.
$10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcision.
What?
Mozambique? That's a gun. That's a gun in that one game. What's that game called? I don't remember what it's called. Crazy username says no. The immigrants who are already here. Immigrants. See, that's no, man. Like no. See that. Here we go. Let me reconcile. We're going back to reconcile. Creator username reconcile time. How do you reconcile calling illegal immigrants immigrants? Why does everybody that has some kind of defensive position on this call illegal immigrants immigrants? Why do you guys do that? And I'm not generalizing. I'm not saying you guys, but it's something you did right here. Why do you call illegal immigrants immigrants? Why do you do that? Because they're illegal immigrants. And tons of them are raping and killing young women and young people in the US. I feel like there's an easy way to circumvent these things. And that's by deporting them. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? All right. Congratulations on being in that NASCAR 500, though. I don't know shit about racing. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I wrecked the whole field. It was a bad time. It was a bad time. We're going to make it up in Phoenix, though. We're going to have a good day in Phoenix. Knock on wood. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Magna Norris. I appreciate you, dude. Creative username says they're immigrants who are here illegally. Okay, cool. So let's take it a step further. How can you reconcile calling immigrants who are illegal immigrants when there's immigrants here that are legal? How do you separate the two? Because keep in mind, you said immigrants. You did not say illegal immigrants. So that pertains to all immigrants, right? So when you're referring to immigrants that are legal or illegal, how do you lump them all into one thing? And how do you specify the difference? Because you wouldn't know people wouldn't know what you were talking about unless you specified, which you didn't, right? So if you say this person's an immigrant, what should they assume? Should they assume they're legal or illegal? Right? Because if like somebody's uncle I meet somebody's uncle and they're Swedish and he's like, yeah, he's an immigrant. Is he illegal or is he legal? Thank you, creative username. Marion Hossman says, everybody can see what is being found out at doge.gov. Yep, it's all public information. Well, the new rhetoric that has been spawned by CNN, shocking, right? Is that all the Doge stuff is fake. I guess that's what you got to do. You know? I call them dreamers. Right? It depends on context, creator username. Well, the issue is you said immigrants who are already here are here. That just sounds like people that are already citizens and they're immigrants are here, right? Does that make sense? Shizzy Wizzy Nut! Incoming raid, have a great time and keep the rubber side down. Well, I'll try. I did not do a good job of that last weekend, unfortunately. But we will in 2 weeks at Phoenix. Phoenix. Thank you, Marion. I love you. Appreciate you, Phoenix. I mean, Marion. Phoenix. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Shizzy Wizzy Nut, my boy.
Million for dick snipping? What does that mean? $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia.
Man.
$486 million
You're just making up numbers, by the way?
to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive, participatory political process in
I think Trump should grow a
Moldova,
beard.
and $21 million for voter turnout in India. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India?
What they're doing, the whole point of this is they're spending this money on voter turnout and in increasing voices in Cambodia. It's about trying to force government structures that we want to force to come into power in other countries. It's like playing God, playing chess in other countries. That's what it's all about. And by the way, it's taxpayer money. It's not their money. We are paying for support for voter turnout in India, like me and Helena are. Why? I don't know. Shizzy Wizzy Nut says, incoming raid. Shizzy Wizzy Nut, everybody, is my boy. I appreciate you, Shizzy Wizzy, for the raid. I love you. If you guys are new here, this is the Family-Lot. With the Camelot, we're talking about Trump. And we're having a good time today. I raced at Daytona last weekend in NASCAR, and I wrecked the whole field. It was a bad time. We were running really good. We had a fast car, but it's all good. I'll also race in NASCAR. We'll be at Phoenix in 2 weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. So very, very excited. And also, real quick, I will be in the new... do I have that picture? I think I do. Yeah, I do. It's right here. I will be, I announced it today officially, boys. It's official. It's official, everybody. I will be a playable character in the new NASCAR 25 game. Go pre-order it at GameStop. So you guys can play as me in that game. It's going to be a lot of fun, so don't miss out on that. And we're still offering a couple a couple of sponsor spots to be in the game. So if you're interested in getting involved and you want your company on the side of the car or something, make sure you DM me and we can get that done. We got 3 spots left, so don't miss out. It'll be immortalized in the video game forever. So get on it, doggone it. Thank you, guys. All right, let's continue. Thank you, Shizzy Wizzy, for the raid. Make sure you guys subscribe. I love you. I appreciate you guys for all the love. Where the hell? Oh, there it is. So I appreciate you guys. All right, let me take that down. Let's take it down, boys. Make sure you guys like the stream. We're almost to 300 likes. And we're almost to 500 in super chats. Naked Snake time. What are your pronouns? Fat / as fuck. I'm a big man. Big man. Not really. I only weigh like 190, but still. Oh, by the way, if you're wanting to get involved, having your company on my car or something, pro tip before you message me, obviously it's not free. Sponsoring race cars in NASCAR is not a free venture. I've had a lot of people message me today. Yeah, I'll do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. What's your budget? And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, what? You think Coca-Cola pays $0 to be on? What? All right. By the way, Marion Halston with a pink super chat. Oh my God. That puts us 1 red boy from a rainbow night, or sorry, from a naked snake night. 1 red boy left. Thank you, Marion. Illegal immigrants cannot get any welfare benefits until they reside here for at least 5 years. They're giving all the welfare benefits to illegal immigrants. No questions asked. You think that's fair? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. And it's hard to reconcile. Thank you, Marion Haltzman, everybody, with a pink boy. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you one more again for Shizzy Wizzy. Make sure you guys like the show. Got 700 people watching. Give it a good old-fashioned dingle-ding. Any other drivers like you politically in NASCAR? Like, what do you mean? Like, do they cover politics? No. What are their political beliefs? 99.8% conservative. How much to just be the bumper balls? just have the balls dangling. The balls dangling, scraping. That'd be funny. Thank you, Marion Haltzman. I appreciate you. Marion Haltzman. Too good to me. Yeah. The balls. They banned those balls. Did you know they banned those balls in a lot of cities? Like the truck balls? Looks like a ball sack.
Can you imagine how badass that'd be?
Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government, because when we hear that Russia spent about $2 in our country, it was a big deal, right? They took some
People are
internet
mad
ads
about
for $2,000. This is a total breakthrough. $21 million for India elections.
Well, keep in mind, we are allowed to collude. We're allowed to collude in other governments' dealings. They're not allowed to collude in ours, though. Of course, that's evil. Donna, what's your car number? 11. In the truck series, I'm number 2. In the ARCA series, I'm number 11. How much for a pixel in the car? 10 grand.
$29 million to
hashtag not my
strengthen the
president?
political landscape
You guys
in
remember
Bangladesh. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million in addition to the $21 million for biodiversity conversion in Nepal. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. We need voter confidence too when you read this list. $14 million for social cohesion.
He's just sitting here telling jokes.
$2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well. We don't need to give them money. And in another program, $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas. You know about that? $100 million for condoms. Condoms. Does everybody know what a condom is? For Hamas.
How can you hate this man? How can you hate this man? No, I'll tell you about the condoms for Hamas thing. Right? Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, I almost died. It's all right. It's all good. The condoms in Hamas thing. Basically, this is how I theorize this all works. So there's a government contract to get a company to provide $50 million worth in condoms for a country. And it just so happens that an executive on the board for that company or the treasurer may be related to a congressperson or somebody in the Senate, or maybe even somebody running for president. That's my theory. You know what I'm saying? they'll buy 1,000 condoms, and then the other $49.9 million goes into those pockets of the executives. That's what I'm thinking happens.
$100 million. And these are just some. I could
Apparently, there's a Baltic country whose government is corrupt.
These are just some, and
Do you
not
believe
nearly as
that?
bad as others. And some are just.
No way.
I don't want to say them because they're too insinuary.
That's the first time.
We're also finding tremendous abuse, waste, and fraud in Social Security. Social Security is what's
Balkan.
happening
Excuse
there.
me,
It's
not
going to be
Baltic.
one of the great potential scandals in history. On the program, there are over 4.7 million Social Security numbers from people from 100 years old to 109. Think of that. Now, over 100, there aren't a lot of people that make it. Hopefully, most of the people in this room will make it. But historically, you don't have thousands and thousands of people. But listen to this: 3.6 million people are on Social Security rolls.
They're vampires.
From the age of 110 years old
This
to
is why
119. Do you think there are really that many?
Yeah.
Those people are seriously old.
Well, there was that guy in the
But it gets
Bible
worse.
that lived like 900 years, right?
3.47 million people are on Social
Remember that
Security
guy?
from the age of 120 years old to 129 years old. 3.9 million people
Noah, Methuselah.
are on the
Yeah.
age of Social Security from 130 years old to 139 years old.
Keep in mind, every single age he's mentioning would break the record for longest living human ever. So every one of these people on Social Security past the age of 110 is complete and utter fraud. I think there's actually a portion of them that are 300 years old.
Now, the all-time record I heard is a woman who was 127 years old. That's a record.
That's a long time.
A woman from a certain country where they have actually people that live pretty long, actually. And
It's not America.
She was 127 years old.
Yeah.
That's pretty old. But we're topping her by millions of people. 3.5 million people from the age 140 to 149 years old.
Damn.
1.3 million people are on Social Security from the age 150 to 159. And over 130,000 people are on Social Security over the age of 160 years old, okay? Including 1,039 people, think of it, over 1,000 people between the ages of 220 to 229. And one person between the age of 240 years old to 249. And the record topper, there is one person on Social Security who's 360 years old, which is approximately 110 years older than our country.
That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. How do you reconcile that? Come on now. Somebody in the chat reconcile this for me. Who is this person that is 360 years old? Who? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wild. I don't understand. I don't know what that means, Real Dragon Lady. How you doing, baby? What's up? Charlie Horse, what's up, dude? Make sure you guys subscribe if you have not. Like the stream if you have not, please. And don't forget, we are $100 away. One Red Boy super chat away from a naked snake night for the 422nd stream in a row. Unbelievable record we got going here.
Oh my God. We're paying Social Security to Dracula.
So what we're trying to find out, and what we will find out, is are people being paid from all of these, you know?
No, it looks like it sounds like the numbers are bullshit.
10,000 there. What's
That's
going
what I
on?
heard.
So we'll find
I heard
out
all
pretty
these numbers are
easily.
bullshit. It's a
There's
waste of
lot
time to talk about.
Computer geniuses. I said to Elon, who are these people that are doing this? The DOGE people. I said, who are they? Where do they come from? He said, well, number one, they love our country. Number two, they're really genius at computers. So nobody's going to fool them. When they go in, they see some bureaucrat that's scamming the country.
Yeah.
And they try and talk about, you know, certain computer language. These people say, no, it doesn't work that way. These are people that have a natural ability as you know, brilliant computer people. It was very interesting when he told me that. I said, that's what you need
You
today.
should call them wizards.
But all of these scams have now been terminated. In addition, over the past month, we have effectively eliminated the U.S. Agency for International Development, which was funding much of this lunacy. We virtually shut down the out-of-control CFPB, escorting radical left bureaucrats out of the building and locking the doors behind them. What they were doing was so terrible. Where they were spending the money was so terrible. What we haven't looked at yet, but will be, is does the money come back to them? Because nobody can be stupid like that. And they're not stupid. They're smart, actually. And, you know, why are they doing that? Does money come back to them? So we'll figure that out pretty easily, I think, and quickly. But I've ended all of the so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the entire federal government and private sector, and notified every single government DEI officer that their jobs have been deleted. They're all deleted. And it's interesting, even these companies that have tremendous amounts of money. A number of them just announced, Walmart, if you can believe it, they just announced that they're stopping. And
they're roaching out, man.
These companies are writing off like $220 million. How can you spend that much money no matter what you're doing? If you're teaching something, you're going to have an instructor. You're going to talk? You're going to give them a book? Please read the book. You know, that you find they spent $225 million on that. What's going on? And we were going in the wrong way. And our military was real.
Yeah, it was just money laundering, man. Easy as that. Reverend No Fun says, where's Cecil been? No Coke Files for a while. He's been in Daytona for like a week and a half. You know? That's what's going on. So. Whew. Right.
Really,
Does Trump watch the
well,
stream?
I tell you, you know,
I wonder if Trump
we
has seen the
defeated
stream.
ISIS with our military in 3 weeks.
Probably not, right?
General Raisin Kane he's some general. He's a real general, not a television general.
There's no
and,
way.
3 weeks ISIS. And I asked him, and I saw some of his people that were so great, the soldiers. We have the greatest military in the world, but we don't have the greatest top leadership. That's why Afghanistan was such a horrible situation and so embarrassing and so many other things. But when we want to, with proper leadership, there's nobody even close to us. We have the best equipment in the world. We make the best equipment in the world. But we have the best military. But, you know, we never fight to win. We fight to just keep it going forever. And when we fight to win,
That's a new
there's
one.
nobody that can even come close to us.
Yeah,
But I was
that's
talking to General Dan Kane, we call him Raisin Kane.
Oh,
and I
from
was told it
chicken.
would take about 4 years to
From chicken, because of
defeat
chicken.
ISIS, and he did it in 3 weeks. I said to him, what do you think, General? How long will it take, sir? I think we should do it in less than 4 weeks. You're going to have time left over. And he did. He did that. And we were told by the television generals it would take 4 years. So we did it. That's when I went to Iraq. I flew to Iraq. And late at night, the dark of night, all the windows closed, all the lights off in the plane, and Air Force One. And we flew in, and it was pretty amazing. I'll tell you, we were landing, and there were no lights in the plane. Sir, we have to turn off all lights. I said, you mean we spend $9 trillion, and we have to fly in an Air Force One with the lights off? And I went up to the pilot, said hello. And by the way, these guys are like central casting. These are the best looking human beings. Everybody's like perfect. The most handsome people, the best looking people you've ever seen with the flat tops and the whole thing.
I wish I was handsome. Trump wouldn't approve of me. Caesar was on Goodham shows last night. He was on his show today, yeah? Well, that's the thing, man. Like all these pundits are like, well, all these things that he wants to do would take years, and he's getting them done in weeks, which is why I am hopeful about the abolishment of the IRS. I'm hopeful because everyone claims it can't be done, and I feel like it can be. I feel like it can be. That's kind of what worried me about the free money thing, the DOGE dividend money, because I'm like, wait a second, why are you offering money now? That worries me that it's a distraction from the actual goal. That's the issue.
And I was a little concerned because the lights are off and everything's off. And even the lights in where he was were
What
down
the
very
fuck
dim,
does that
very
do with
dim with all of the
anything?
lights on the fancy dashboards of the plane. Air Force One. We're getting a new Air Force One if they can never finish the damn thing. We're getting 2 of them, actually. But we may have to go a different route because it's taken them a long time. We're going to get military that's going to start building. We're going to get people to start building properly again in our country because they don't build properly.
Wait, what?
This was Boeing. But we're up there, and I'm looking at these people. And again, I say, they look like Tom Cruise, but better. Stronger, tougher. And I like Tom Cruise, but these are better. And they said, are we okay, Captain? Yes, sir, we're fine. But I'm looking at...
I like how he's like, these are some sexy motherfuckers. These are some sexy sons of bitches. Jay Sledge, you say you think they're really going to abolish the IRS? Yes, I think it can happen. I really do.
I don't see any lights, and we're landing. And I'm used to that. I like to sit with the pilots a lot and respect the pilots greatly. And we're up there, and we have the computer. I call it the computer voice, where it goes 1,900, 800. It's feet. Your feet above ground. So that means you're very low. And I'm looking out, and my eyes are pretty good, and I don't see any lights. And the computer goes out. Sounds like an intelligent individual. It goes 1,000. We're 1,000 feet up. It's a 10-story building. There's a big plane. And then it goes 900, 800, 700. I said, Captain, Captain, we don't see any lights. Is everything? Yes, sir. Everything's fine, sir. We'll be landing in 3 minutes. And then it goes like 600.
Oh, God. It's
500. Captain, we okay? And then it goes 400, 300, 200. And I'm saying, man, there's nothing out there. And then he goes, boom, perfect landing right on this thing. There are no lights on the runway. There's no, I don't know how the hell they do it, but I'm sure as hell glad we had somebody that knows how to fly. But they didn't want to have any lights because they didn't want the enemy after spending, years and trillions of dollars. We have to land with Air Force One with no lights on the runway. But they were incredible people. And then I got out of the plane and actually asked my people, I said, excuse me, I was very brave sitting in that cockpit. Am I allowed to give myself the Congressional Medal of Honor? And they said, I don't think so, sir. I said,
ridiculous.
I was extremely brave. Now, here's the problem with saying a story like that when you're a kid. The press will say, President Donald Trump wanted to give himself the Congressional Medal of Honor. Headlines, headlines all over. The fake news. We call it the fake news, but we're all wise to them. But it was something. And then I went down, and it was the same thing. I'm standing on the top, and I look down, and there's these handsome
He's
people.
almost as humble as
like
you.
from a movie set.
Yeah.
good-looking guys. I get down the stairs, and what's your name? My name is Kane, sir. What's your first name? They call me Raisin. I say, wait a minute, your name is Raisin Kane? I love you. I've been looking for you for 5 years. You are this is what I want. And there was a general.
I love how Trump's on this kick and just talking about how sexy everybody is. He's just talking about how sexy everybody is.
Does he like the chicken? There was a colonel, there was a drill sergeant, a master sergeant. They were all like people. I could make a movie right now. I'd have the best looking people ever. And they were great. And then I went in and, sir, would you like to rest before the bed? No, I don't want to rest. I don't want to rest. I've been resting on the plane, other than the last few moments, which were quite harrowing. And I said, I don't want to rest. He was thinking about Biden in advance, you know. If Biden would have gone there, he would have rested for days. And then they wouldn't have had a meeting. He'd just go home. No, I said, I don't want to rest. I don't want to rest at all. I want to go. So we went into this like bunker. And we had a lot of very good, talented people. And that's when I asked them. I said, you know, I'm hearing it's going to take a long time. No, that's not right, sir. It's not going to take a long time. We'll have it done in 4 weeks. I said, how can you say 4 weeks when in Washington they said 4 years? They said, 4 weeks, sir. We'll hit them left. We'll hit them right. We'll hit them up the center. We'll hit them underground and overground. We'll knock the hell out of them, sir. And I said, why is it that they said so long? He said, because they wouldn't let us fight.
Can you imagine if I actually did do the podcast with them?
From this airport. We're very, very far away, sir.
It'd be like 7 hours.
Here. We have many substations out, sub-airports, they call them remote airports, where they build them in the sand. And we have many of them, and I'd use them all, sir. And I would hit him so hard from so many different directions. I said, well, what do you think? He said, you just let me know. And I called him back and I said, go ahead and do it. Are you sure you can do this, General? I said, yes, sir. And he did it actually in 3 weeks. It was over 100% of people that are really hurting the Middle East, hurting the world. And it was done. And we have, I'm telling you, we have the greatest military in the world.
Wow.
But you have to use the right people. But there's nothing like what they were able to do in that case. And in other cases, wherever I gave them something, it was done incredibly well and very, and you know, many of
Jacob says he knows how to talk. Yeah, he's basically just doing a stand-up comedy routine, which I think people really, really enjoy. Jenny says I stepped away from Shizzy Wizzy and came back here. Yeah, Shizzy Wizzy rated the show. Big shout out to Shizzy Wizzy. I thank you, my friend. Thank you, buddy. He's the GOAT. Love you, dude. By the way, we are 100 in super chats away from a naked snake night for the 422nd stream in a row. Thank you guys so much. That's one red boy. Thank you. I love you. By the way, make sure you like the show. We're going hard. We're having a good time.
the instances because it's been well reported, but we've also required, and we have a country that's a great country. It's a strong country, but it's a country that's just now gaining its respect back to the levels that it should have never lost. We were being laughed at by the entire world, but we're not being laughed at anymore. But we've also required that all federal employees must once again show up to work. It's a new phenomenon, since COVID. Show up to work in person like the rest of us. So, it doesn't work when you don't show up. And I see companies now are all going back to it. They're all going back. It's great. I watch some of the big business leaders saying we absolutely are going back. You can't work at home. They're not working.
Damn, guys.
Playing tennis, they're playing golf, or they have other jobs. But they're not working, or they're certainly not working hard. You could never build a company or a country with that. So we have a very strong policy, and if they don't show up to work, they get fired. And we're trying to make our government smaller but much stronger. Mm-hmm. And we have tremendous bureaucracy, but it's happening. A lot of people are leaving, and in some cases leaving with pretty good offers. You're paid 7 or 8 months and go out, find a job. But some of these people had jobs. They were actually working for us, but they also had other jobs. And those people, in theory, they have problems. I don't know if we're going to do anything about that.
Yeah, who knows?
Things to do, but they were working other jobs instead of working for us. So they were staying home working, but they were working other jobs, getting paid a lot of money, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
We offered deferred resignation buyouts to all federal workers, resulting in more than 75,000 bureaucrats voluntarily surrendering their taxpayer-funded jobs. A lot of them are leaving because they don't want to be caught having the second job. Some are leaving because they didn't want to be in government any longer. And some are leaving because they didn't want to show up to work. They wanted to work outside of an office. And that's never going to work for anybody.
I know a lot of government employees that are really not wanting they're not wanting to go back to the office. Hong Kong Fui says Trump barely speaks the English language. How do you reconcile? Now, I understand the trolling, but how do you reconcile saying Trump doesn't speak the English language with the last president? Like, how do you reconcile that? I'm saying reconcile a lot today because I learned the word. Okay. How do you reconcile that? Like, to be fair, come on. How do you reconcile that shit? It's hard to reconcile that. Jacob Castro, what's up, buddy? On Rumble, how you doing, buddy?
Including companies. Companies ought to get smart. You watch these companies where they do that. They start going bad. Nobody knows what's wrong with this company. Well, try getting the people back into the office where they can be cohesive and together. In less than a single month, the Department of Government Efficiency has already saved over this is just a short period of time, $55 billion.
That's a lot of money.
And we're just getting started. That's nothing compared to the numbers.
$55 billion. Right?
We're ending trillions of dollars in waste, and it'll mean much lower inflation, lower interest rates, lower payments on mortgages, credit cards, car loans, and much higher stock markets. I think the stock market's going to be great. In other words, we will rapidly grow our economy by dramatically shrinking the federal government, and we have to do it. I'm also taking fast action to end the radical left nation-wrecking crusade against oil and natural gas. Over the past 4 years, the Biden administration cut the number of new oil leases and gas leases by 95%. They slowed new pipeline.
Wow. We need more oil than anything. We need more oil, not less oil. We need more drilling, not less drilling.
Dakota Access, they wanted that one knocked out. The Keystone Pipeline, they wanted that one knocked out. They ended the Keystone. We got the Dakota Access done, but it wasn't easy after they tried to stop it. They slowed new oil and gas pipeline
no wonder gas is
construction to
pricey.
virtually a halt. They shut down 38% of active oil and gas rigs in the United States, but they love the wind turbines. They go round and round and round.
Don't bring up the
Wind
birds.
doesn't blow, they got problems.
Do not bring up the birds.
They kill all the birds. They ruin the sightlines. They ruin the plains and the beautiful areas of our country, including the oceans, the lakes. They closed more than 50 power plants, all causing energy prices to skyrocket. You saw that happen. That's what caused inflation.
I played MMOs all my life. I know boss
These policies
mechanics.
were so destructive that despite draining nearly 40% of U.S. strategic petroleum reserve, meant for emergencies, it was meant for emergencies. It wasn't meant for getting the price of gasoline down so that you can win an election. It didn't work for winning the election. Actually, there's so many people
Is he wrong, though? Yeah,
are
he is.
driving that it's a very small number. It just had a very small effect, but in the meantime, it takes it down. Now it's at the, we'll fill it up fast, but it's at the lowest level. When we made the transition, it was at the lowest level in history, ever recorded. It's the lowest level. Nobody's ever seen it that way. They put it all out because they thought they could keep gasoline prices down a little bit, just go past the election, and after that, they didn't care. And it didn't work because they didn't get elected. I got elected. But the price of gasoline still rose over 35%, and in some cases, at some periods, it was 100% and 125%.
Must be a wind turbine somewhere nearby.
Under the Trump administration, we have implemented a very different plan. You probably heard of it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. And we're doing it.
Based.
The world runs on low-cost energy, and energy-producing nations like us have nothing to apologize for. We have more energy than any other nation in the world, and we're going to use it. And we're going to use it on AI plants. I was telling some of the people that came in that, they're very interested. Everybody's talking about AI. I hope you're right. I don't know. Who knows?
Sean, or Creative Scaly says, we need Sean in here. We need Sean in here so I can yell at him. I need me some Sean. Somebody text Sean, tell him to get in here so I can yell at his ass. Tell him to put the natty lights down for 2 seconds and get in here so I can yell at him.
Elon, are they right? Are they right in going all? Are they all in for AI? But the problem is, to do it, just in our country, you need twice the electricity just to open up and be the top of AI. You need twice the electricity that we have right now in the entire country. If you take all of the electricity, you need more than twice. You need double what we have right now just to fuel this new industry that's growing. I was amazed when I heard that number. And they all said, how can we do this? Because, in China and various other places, you can probably get it with the shake of a hand. But in our country, you can't. But now you can because we've declared, I'm declaring a national emergency in order to get fast approvals. And we're going to have, if you build a plant, you're able to build an electric generating facility right next to your plant. So you'll be making your own. You won't have to count on utilities. You won't have to count on an old grid that could fail, could get hit by something, bad things or good things. But you're not going to have to. You're not going to have to worry about grids. You're not going to have. You'll build your plant and you'll build your essentially you become a utility in a way. You'll build your own electricity. If you want to build extra and put it out and get paid for that, you're going to be able to do that. You could put it back into the grid, but you're going to be able to build with your plant a.
Isn't that weird, Jacob? So nuclear energy is easily the cleanest energy that we have available, but we don't utilize it. Why is that? Right? So there's all these pundits and politicians like to scream about clean energy and alternate energy, but they completely ignore nuclear energy. Why is that? Is it literally because of freaking Chernobyl? Like we're still talking about Chernobyl. Who the hell is Sean? Sean's one of my mods creative username that always he's a leftist and he likes to argue with me in chat and it's fun. It's fun. I have a lot of fun with it. And then he texts me and he's like, I apologize. And I'm like, dude, don't apologize. It's fun. I don't mind. I don't get angry, man.
Generating facility, and we're going to get you Lee Zeldin, head of the environmental the environmental group, various groups, and we've got them unified now, but we're going to get you very fast approvals. And we get approved so fast, your head will spin. And we're going to get that whole industry started, and we're going to be the head of it. We're leading right now. We have the greatest brain power. We're leading right now, and I expect that we're going to be leading by a lot, but we're going to get you the energy very, very quickly. That would be the one thing that everybody was concerned. How do we have that much electricity when Los Angeles has blackouts and brownouts right now? And there's a lack of electricity, but we're DEI at levels never seen before. I ended the ridiculous Green New Scam, halting tens of billions of dollars of wasteful deficit spending. And I withdrew the United States from the unfair one-sided Paris Climate Accord, and I ended Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate because it was just insane. I repealed the last, and by the way, if you want to buy an electric car, it's great. If you want to buy a gasoline-driven car or a hybrid, it's great. Whatever the thing happens to be, I heard hydrogen's hot. The problem is
What?
when it's not.
Water cars.
Because when that sucker blows up, they don't find the body. So that's one that I said, you know what, let's take a pass on that one. They said it's good, but when it's bad, it's really bad. You find the bodies on trees, on the side of a tree. I said, I think we'll pass on that one, right? We're not going to want that one. But you never know. Maybe someday it'll be good, but it doesn't sound like it's off to a good start. I repealed the last administration's very destructive natural gas export ban.
Yeah.
A deadly neurotoxin says solar is better than wind. Solar is better than wind. The issue is the upkeep for solar is brutal, right? The left hates nuclear because it's too perfect. Damn, Matthew Hammond. Straight facts from my boy. What's up, Sonia? How you doing, baby? Straight facts from my boy. Why can I not turn that off? Oh, did everything crash? It will not let me click things. Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. StreamYard. Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. Chernobyl. Oh, Chernobyl. How you doing, Sonia? How you doing? Make sure you guys like the stream. We're 70 away from 400, and we're 100 away from Naked Snake.
And last week we approved our
We got a few minutes left.
first new liquefied natural gas export license, and we have literally hundreds of people that want to export. I recently met with the Japanese Prime Minister, Shiba.
Oh, he gave him the hat.
To discuss large increases in American oil and gas exports. They wanted so badly. They said we went to the Biden administration. They wouldn't sell it. They wouldn't sell it. Nobody knows why. Biden didn't know why either. They asked him. I don't know. He wanted. They did. Oh, I didn't know that. But we're going to sell it. And the new project in Alaska is going to feed all of Asia. We're going to take care of all of Asia. We have so much oil and gas, like very few people, like very few countries have, like really actually no country has. I also met with Prime Minister Modi of India, who wants to greatly expand India's purchase of American energy. And my administration has also launched the most aggressive deregulation program of any nation in history. Under my executive order, for every one new regulation added, 10 old regulations have to be eliminated.
That's one thing that Elon Musk was championing the whole time was less regulation, less regulation, less regulation.
And you know, in our first term, which was actually an incredible success, we had the greatest economy in history until COVID. And even after that, we did great. The stock market was higher. If you think of it, it was higher after the fact. After we went through that whole thing, it was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in, which is a pretty amazing thing. But we did a great job on that. But it was a terrible thing for the world. The whole world suffered. It suffered terribly,
Did I miss
including
anything?
China, including other countries. It was a terrible period of time. But despite that, we did well. But we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I think this time we're going to do even better. We were artificially hurt by COVID. We had to focus on that instead of focusing on, but just prior to COVID coming in, there's never been anything like
No,
what we did, what we
Biden's
achieved.
stupid.
And
Yeah.
even after we did very well, and especially considering what all of us had to do with
Remember, because
some
he's
nations
dumb?
were hit so
Remember that?
badly, it's just unbelievable what happened to him. As part of our effort, I've signed executive orders to keep the United States at the forefront of artificial intelligence and to end Joe Biden's war on Bitcoin and crypto. We ended that war totally. That war is over. They were very hostile toward them until the very end, just
Wow.
because there's so many people on Bitcoin and crypto that just before the end, the SEC came out and they were being very nice. I was so nice to people because so many people were being indicted for no reason whatsoever. Very political group of people. That's all they did was they liked indicting people.
That's bad.
But they were being indicted, and many of those indictments were dropped just before the election because they said, wait a minute, there's 100 million, 125 million people using this. And they didn't want to have, all these people being voted against. But by the time they did that, it was too late. We had that vote entirely, I think. I think anybody smart that believed in that, and there were a lot of people believing it. Anybody that was smart voted for Trump. And they pulled the indictments. And I see people that were indicted. I said, I saved your life. I saved your life. Because if they actually thought that I was doing it, they said, why is Trump doing it? Is he doing it for political reasons? I don't do anything for political reasons. I do what's right.
Nothing?
I want to be at the forefront of every industry.
Wow.
So
that's based. What's up, Mick Short? How you doing, buddy? Based.
Crazy.
I'll be working with the Republican Congress to pass the largest tax cuts in American history. And that includes, obviously, we have to extend the Trump tax cuts, which were until now the largest. We're going to dramatically cut taxes for families and for workers and for companies, including no tax on tips and hopefully no tax on Social Security and no tax on overtime. And that overtime one is a sleeper because I think a lot of people are going to be spurred on to do a lot of extra work. When they hear that, it's a lot of companies really like it. A lot of people really like it. The new Trump tax cuts will also include 100% expensing for new factory construction in the United States.
To build a
Anything
factory.
else that you're going to buy with capital, if you buy something that is
That's actually
going
kinda
to be good for our country, we're going to let you expense it, 1 year expense. And I did that the first time. And everybody was saying, can you go back to that?
We gotta
Now
build
you
a
still
factory,
get, I guess, 40% or whatever, but it pairs
Beef
down.
jerky
But
factory?
we're going to bring that right up to the top level. I think that had a lot to do with the success that I had during my first term.
Bruce Campbell says, are you looking forward to getting $5,000 of your own money back? No. So that's my unpopular opinion is I don't like that. I don't like the free money thing. I'm not a fan of the free money because the free money is always under the guise of distraction. The end all be all goal is cutting the IRS, completely abolishing the IRS. Giving $5,000 back it's a tactic of the left, right? So the left is always about free money, free money, free money for everybody. Let's give free money, free money, free money. And I don't think that people on the right should be excited and champion the same thing they're against when it's from the other party, right? So people are against free money when it's for the left, but now they're suddenly for free money because it's from their favorite politician. I don't agree. I think keep the money, put it in a pile, and use that as reserves while abolishing the IRS. You know? So nothing is free. Right? Nothing is ever free. That's free guns, bro. Well, you changed my mind, woo. You changed my mind immediately. Look at that guy. Look at that. Scaly one. Here he comes. 50 from Naked Snake. It's a pink boy. Nonpartisan life for you. Politics sucks. People need to remember it's okay to disagree with each other. Oh, I agree. That's my favorite thing to do is disagree and talk about it. Disagree and talk about it. My main issue with the free money is the fact that February of next year you're going to have to pay it back, and I don't even want to be involved. No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Scaly. I love you. Appreciate you, Scaly. That puts us $50 from Naked Snake. Oh my God. It might actually happen for the 422nd stream in a row. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Scaly. I appreciate it, buddy. Scaly coming in strong. He's the man with a plan. We love you, Scaly. Thank you, buddy. Scaly. My boy. Thank you.
I will substantially cut taxes for all domestic producers of oil and gas and just about everything else that they produce. In my first term, I brought the business tax down from around 40% to 21%, which everybody said was an impossible thing to do. I cut it from 40. It actually was state and said it was much higher than 40. But I got it down to 21%, and now I'm bringing it down to a goal of 15%, but only if you make your product in America. In other words, you're going to be at 21%, but if you make your product in America, you're going to go from 21 to 15. If you don't, you're going to pay 21%, which is still lower than anything. So guys like Elon are going to come and make his great cars in the United States. There are a lot of people are calling, a lot of car companies are calling. They called me, three of the majors, they called and they said, we're looking all over the place. We want to be there. I'm going to be announcing tariffs on cars and semiconductors and chips and pharmaceuticals, drugs and pharmaceuticals and lumber probably and some other things over the next month or sooner. And it's going to have a big impact on America. We're bringing our businesses back. If they don't make their product in America, then they have to pay a tariff. But if they do make their product in America, they don't have to pay any tariff. It's all going to bring trillions of dollars into our treasury, or it's going to mean that there won't be any taxes because we won't have a fair base. If they don't have it, we don't have it. If they don't pay, if they don't charge us, we don't charge them. It's pretty simple. The Republican Party is, once again, the party of common sense. We're a party of common sense. We want strong borders. We don't want men playing in women's sports. We don't want to have transgender for everybody. We're the party of common sense. That's how we won the election in such a big manner. We'll no longer allow other countries to ransack and plunder our nation. That's why I've announced that we will soon begin imposing reciprocal tariffs on any country that engages in unfair and unequal trading practices. If they tariff us, as I said, we will tariff them at the exact same rate. So if a certain country, because some of these countries, even countries that I've already mentioned, are extremely aggressive with tariffs. Nobody knows that. European Union, they have a VAT tax that's devastating.
25%.
People on the outside, hard to sell cars, really impossible to sell them because they also have non-monetary tariffs that are very, very tough. But if you take a look at that, it's a very unfair situation. And the VAT tax is similar to the tariff. Around the world, I'm moving quickly to end wars, settle conflicts, and restore the planet to peace. I want peace, and I don't want to see everybody being killed. And you take a look at the death in the Middle East and the death that's taking place between Russia and Ukraine.
Here we go. All right.
We're going to end it. There's no profit for anyone in having World War III, and you're not so far away from it. I'll tell you right now. You're not so far away.
Bad.
If we would have had this administration for another year, you would have been in World War III, and now it's not going to happen. In the Middle East, I've restored my policy of maximum pressure on Iran, designed to bring peace.
That's a relief.
Well, to be fair, we didn't really have a leader the last 4 years, so anything could have really happened, right? And how is World War III going to really affect politicians? Not really. So a lot of them may have been for it. So we need to end that shit. Cut the head off the snake, man.
Yeah.
And we've designated the Houthis a terrorist organization. They're, destroying shipping lanes
They're
all
from
over
One
the
Piece.
place. They're making it very hard for people to get their product delivered, making it very difficult, but we'll take care of that situation. And we've secured a ceasefire in Gaza, and we're bringing in the hostages, and we're bringing them home to their families. Some of them are in pretty bad shape, I have to tell you.
Yes, Bruce.
To end the horrible war in Ukraine, I've spoken with President
Oh, here
Putin
we
and
go.
President Zelensky, and our teams began negotiations this week in Saudi Arabia. I want to thank Saudi Arabia for that. That was so great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
W Saudi Arabia.
And I want to thank,
Why does it have a red suit?
in particular, I mean, we have so many of the people, Yasser, Mohammed, all of the people, but in particular, we have to thank Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for hosting these historic talks. And
That guy's
talks
a
that went
gamer.
very, very well. Steve was there. Steve Witkoff was there, and Michael was there. Michael Waltz and
His anime
others,
profile
and they
picture is
really
like an
went
anime
well.
girl or something.
It's a big step.
Not
to
even
get the
kidding.
war over with. You have to see the
Actually
people
is.
that are dying. I look at the pictures, the satellite pictures of the field. It's a level
loves Dota.
field, and it looks like a modern day version of Gettysburg. And you know what that means? It is just carnage. It's horrible. And it's not American soldiers. It's not even soldiers from the Middle East in the case of Ukraine, Russia, but it's people. It's young people.
The weird part about the Ukrainian war, and I don't really touch on that much because I've never really researched it, and I've never really been passionate about that whole situation. The most interesting thing about that whole situation is Zelensky's in his 5th year or 6th year in power, and there's no elections happening. He put off all elections because of wartime, and now he's just like permanent supreme leader. And like, how do you reconcile that in like America, right? I feel like that's something we don't really talk about. How do we look at that? Is that like, should that be viewed in a negative or positive light? Yeah.
From Russia and Ukraine mostly that are just being decimated. It's flat
MVS
fields.
is a bigger gamer than
And a
fraud
bullet
Elon.
goes, and a bullet only stops when it hits somebody. And the level of people being
What
killed.
hits a
in that
tree?
battle, soldiers, young soldiers, in some cases old soldiers, because they're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers, one case. But think of it, a modestly successful comedian, President Zelensky, talked the United States of America into
Here we go.
spending $350 billion to go into a
Here
war
we
that
go.
basically couldn't be won, that never had to start and never would have started if I was president, not even a chance. And it didn't start for 4 years,
Nope.
never would have started. But a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, will never be able to settle. They'll never settle that war without our involvement. That's why they did such a great job this weekend. That's why Saudi Arabia did such a great job this weekend in hosting. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed. They get their money back. It's a form of a loan. Nobody knows that. I know that. I said, why isn't somebody saying, we do it the same way? And we spent much more money. We have to equalize. But while the United States gets nothing back, so they get their money back, it's a loan. We just give our money. And we had a deal based on.
This is where we're going to
rare earth
steal
and
all their
things,
money.
but, we
Yeah,
broke that deal.
all their rocks.
But we they broke it 2 days ago. We had a deal because.
So we get
I
all
said,
the
we're
rocks.
Spending $350 billion. And
That's right. All the
Europe gets
shiny
their money
rocks.
back in the form of a loan, and we don't. We're just giving the money hand over fist. That's the Biden administration for you. But they're no longer dealing
They
with the
keep the
same
ones that aren't
United
shiny.
States as they were dealing with a few months ago. Why didn't crooked Joe Biden demand equalization? And that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us, and that there's a very big, beautiful ocean.
Well, here's my theory. My theory is, and I think this theory is a little confirmed depending on who you're looking at, but I think my theory is that there's tons of people, like families of family members, I guess sons, uncles, nephews, nieces, daughters, sons, that work as executives on boards at these companies overseas that oversee a lot of this stuff. So a lot of these billions of dollars are going through these companies, right? And it just so happens that somehow people that are American that are related to American politicians somehow are on the boards for these companies and have their hand in the pie. You know what I'm saying?
Separation. This is, we're helping Europe. We're
This
trying
is
to
a
help
lie?
Europe.
No.
On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of
He
the
would
money that
never.
we sent them is missing. They don't know where the money is. He said, we don't know where half of it is. That's great. Wonderful. He refuses to have elections. It's low in the real Ukrainian polls. I mean, how can you be high with every city is being demolished? It's hard to be high. Somebody said, oh, no, his polls are good. Give me a break. Every city is being demolished. They look like a demolition site, every single one of them. And the only thing he was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. He played him like a fiddle. That's an expression we use, yes, sir, to say that he's pretty easy, pretty easy. A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast, or he's not going to have a country left. Got to move fast, because that war's going in the wrong direction. In the meantime,
Give
we're
the whole thing
successfully
away to Russia.
negotiating an end to the
Oh,
war
God.
with Russia. Something I'll admit that only Trump is going to be able to do in the Trump administration. We're going to be able to do it. I think Putin even admitted that. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to. Maybe he wants the gravy train going. I don't know what's the problem, but he hasn't been able. He's very upset.
Jesus.
He wasn't invited. He could have come if he wanted to, but that he wasn't invited to Saudi Arabia. But he's been working for 3 years. There's never been even meetings or phone calls to stop this war. It's a horrible thing. I figure Russia's lost 900,000 soldiers. I think that Ukraine's lost probably 700,000.
Damn.
It's a terrible
That's a lot
thing.
of
You'll see
people,
body
man.
parts, bodies and body parts all over the field, all over. We see them very accurately through satellites. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions of people have unnecessarily died. And you can't bring a war to an end if you don't talk to both sides. You got to talk. They haven't been talking for 3 years. So we hope to see a ceasefire soon and to reestablish stability in Europe. Thank you very much. And as I've said before, it's my hope that my greatest
we get all
legacy
the shiny
will be
rocks.
as a peacemaker and a unifier. That would be a great legacy.
We get the
So in
rocks for,
conclusion, the golden age of America is upon us, and I'm inviting everyone here today and every citizen across our land to take part in the most extraordinary period of peace, prosperity, growth, innovation, wealth creation, and expansion the world has ever seen. We're on our way. I mean, everyone's talking about us. 3 weeks. We're in there for a couple of days, more than 3 weeks, and everyone's talking about it. You have to see the crowds of people outside. It's pretty amazing what's happening. We're on the verge of soaring markets, surging incomes, booming production, groundbreaking technologies, thrilling discoveries, and a quantum leap in the quality of life. Absolutely a quantum leap. One day, very soon, our country will have the greatest economy in the history of the world because we once again have a president who puts America first, and we put America first, and your country should put your country first. But in the end, we want America first. And when it's all beautiful, which is going to be pretty soon, we want to help other countries, and you want to help other countries. But, you know, I tell your leaders, and some of the leaders are in this room right now, you got to put your country first, whether it's Saudi Arabia, whether it's something else, you got to put your country first. But we're going to have plenty left over to help others also. As long as you invest in America, build in America, and hire in America, that means that I'm fighting for you. I am fighting very hard for you. Together, we're going to make the United States of America bigger, better, bolder, richer, and greater than ever before. It's going to be stronger than ever before. We're going to be a peacemaker and a peacekeeper. We're going to stop people from these stupid, never-ending wars. We're not going to partake in them ourselves, but we'll be stronger and more powerful than anybody by far. And if it ever came to war, there is nobody that would be able to come close to us. But we don't think that's going to ever happen. So I want to thank you all very much. It's a great honor to be here. And I think somebody said they're going to ask questions, and I didn't say, "Gee, what are the questions?" Like Biden does. I say,
"Oh, here we go. This is the good part."
Question, and I give an answer.
This is the question part.
Come up, and you're going to give me some questions. Thank you very much.
I'm going to be honest.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Please, a round of applause for the President of the United States of America. Thank you.
Oh. I'm going to have to take a pee real quick, guys, because I'm about to piss my pants. Real quick, make sure you guys like the show, and then we're going to continue this. Like the show, and we are $50 in Super Chats away from the Naked Snake streak being extended to 422 streams in a row. Let me go take a pizzle, and we'll continue the show. Make sure you like the stream. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, please. It's in the chat right now. Mick Stellar and post it, or Stream Elements will post it. Go follow me on those. I'm going to go pee real quick, and then we're going to continue the show. Enjoy the musical stylings of Alex Jones for about 2 minutes, and we will continue intermission time. Here we go.
System, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin, and they run around screaming, "We love Satan, we wanna eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil, and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna steal your daughter at the mall. Oh, oh, oh.
All right, boys. God, that was the best piss I've had in a long time. By the way, Marion Haltzman has just dropped a pink boy. I got to go. You all have a good night. Be safe. Marion Haltzman, I love you. I appreciate you so much. You coming in. You got us $3 from Naked Snake. We are that damn close. That should be accomplishable. I think we got it. I think that's the end there. Thank you so much, Marion. I love you. And thank you for being about half of the super chats tonight. I really appreciate that. You're too good to you, boy. I love you and I appreciate you. Marion Haltzman, good night. Sweet dreams. Think about me when you lay your head on the pillar. I appreciate you. And thanks one more again. Everybody give her some love. I appreciate you, Marion, getting us there. You're too good. You're just too damn good to me. Thank you, baby. We love you. We love you, Marion. Thank you so much. Mandy, what's up, baby? Hope you're doing well. Mandy. Thank you, Mandy. Hope you're doing well. Hope Craig's doing well. Sean's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, let's continue. Thank you, guys. Here we go.
Make crime illegal?
Mr. President, thank you for accepting to take a few questions. 20 years ago, I don't know if you will remember, we were under the same roof in Orlando and you were delivering an amazing speech in front of 3,000 sales reps, giving him the best advice to be successful. So what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received?
Wow.
Well, I think I was watching my father. You know, my father was a very hard worker, and he just worked hard. And he was very smart. He had good genetics. His brother was the longest-serving professor in the history of MIT, Dr. John Trump. And my father was every bit as smart. But my father had to work. He was older, and he put his brother through school. In fact, he once said, boy, I put him through so much school. He had 3 different degrees, and they asked him to stay on at MIT. But my father was the same ilk. And I noticed that my father was a happy man. And what he did is he worked. He just worked all the time. He worked. And he loved it. And really, I think the best piece of advice I got from that is you have to love what you do. And if you love what you do, you're going to have a happy life. If you don't, I mean, I see so many people, they're in businesses that they don't want to be in.
Think about
They're in
depressed
businesses
streamers.
that, they're bored in or they're not good at. They don't have a natural ability at it. There is
You
such
play
a thing
video
as
games for a
natural
living, you're
ability, whether it's
sad?
sports or acting or anything else. I mean, some people have an ability for something. Try and find that ability, but you have to love what you do. If you
He's
love
right.
what you do, you're going to be, at least you have a good chance of being successful.
Mr. President,
you're
it's
right.
almost time for an early dinner. So if you are throwing a dinner party and you can invite 3 fascinating guests, living or dead, who would you bring?
Bro, what are
Well,
these?
they're all sitting right in the front row. Yes, sir. Are you ready? Mohammed, are you ready? Steve Witkoff, and we have the most important.
Bane Kitty says, how much money do you have right now? What do you mean? Like in life? 350, about 350.
Person, at least until the World Cup is over, is here. Johnny, stand up. He gave the United States the World Cup.
Oh.
Johnny, thank you very much. I didn't know you were here. That's very good. He's the king of soccer. That's not bad. And you've done a fantastic job. But it's very interesting. When I was president, I got the World Cup.
Are these
and I
Biden
got,
questions?
all of the, we have the 250 anniversary. So that fell in this administration. That's a big deal, 250 years. But we have all of these things happening. And I also got the Olympics. And I was called by the mayor of Los Angeles, sir, would you call up the Olympic committee? Because it was at that time, President Obama will not take their phone call. And we're going to get the Olympics in Los Angeles. And by the way, they've recommitted to Los Angeles at a level that, I was very worried about that. And they've the opposite. Somebody could have said, well, we're going to do it someplace else, until they have actually recommitted. They're going to make it bigger and better than ever. So I want to let you know that. But I had the Olympics. So I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup, and I said, and the 250, but that one I didn't get. But it was there. It was in this term. And I ran an election, and we did fantastic in 2016. We did much better. Millions and millions, tens of millions, but millions and millions of votes better. And bad things happened, and I didn't get that one. And I said, when I originally signed the Olympics, I said, I won't be able to even be president. And I got the Olympics because when I spoke with the people, the organizing committee and the people in different parts of the world, they asked me to do it because the president wouldn't do it. I was
the
president
moment that
elect.
he starts explaining about a conversation that he had.
They were starving for love. And the bottom
It's like
line,
a
they gave us the
multiplier.
Olympics. And I said, isn't it sad? I won't be president. Then we had the election result. And now I'm president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So I'm very
Wow.
happy about that, Johnny. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll be there. I promise I'll be there.
And by the way, Mr. President, backstage, you have a gift from Johnny. He gave us the first ball with your name, which will be played for the World Cup in America.
It's going to be great. Thank you, Johnny, very much.
I doubt that any day you will take a sabbatical year, but if you could take a sabbatical year, Mr. President,
Take
what
a year off.
unconventional thing would you do?
What was the word?
Sabbatical. You don't work for 1 year.
But you said Sabbath. It's a big difference. It's almost the opposite when you think about it, right? I think what I do is, look, what I'm doing now is the most exciting job in the world. It's a hard job.
So
not
if he
an
could
easy
take a
job.
year
It's
off,
nasty
he'd be
job.
president?
It could be a lot easier with, I think that the news media has to straighten themselves out because people are getting it. You know, they're losing tremendous popularity and they've lost their prestige and they've lost their credibility. And I think it's a very important thing, the news media, but I think they have to straighten themselves out because the people are going around them now. They have so many different things with like Elon with X, which was a big thing. And we have Truth, which has been fantastic. And we have so many other things that you don't really need traditional. But I will tell you that there's just nothing I could do to enjoy my life, whether it's that or anything else that you'd ask, because this is the ultimate. I mean, I had to make a big decision, and it was a very risky decision because if I would have lost, my life would have been a much different life. It would have been a very nice.
You would have been in jail. Uh-oh, we got 5 gifted memberships from Master Lions. Here we go. Who is it? Brian C., Mary B., Brad Powers, Orion Galaxy. What's up, dude? And Matthew Hammond. There's your gifted memberships. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, dude. Love you, Master Lions. That's 23 today. 23 memberships. Thank you, baby. I love you.
Going after me at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Not Andrew Jackson, not Abraham Lincoln. You know, the historians say that the president that was treated the worst by far by the media and overall was Andrew Jackson. In fact, his wife died of heartbreak. They were treated really rough. And Abraham Lincoln was second, but he had a civil war.
I think they did treat Abraham Lincoln bad.
But nobody was treated like me.
Because like,
and
remember, like, because of what happened.
You learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
But there's nothing I'd rather do. I had to make a decision. Do I do this? Because if I lost, it would have been very, very bad. It was dangerous, actually, very dangerous in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I decided to do it. And I said, I have to win. Because if I don't, when I spoke to a friend of mine the other night, he said, you know, if you lost, it would have been it was actually Sean Hannity just before we did the interview last night. He said, boy, if you would have lost, you would have had a tough life. You would have had a very tough life. So it was, there was a certain amount of courage involved in this decision to run. And it's a great honor to win by this much, to win all 7 swing states, the popular vote. Popular vote doesn't get won that much by Republicans for whatever reason. I think that's changing because, again, we're the party of common sense and they're the party of some real bad things. And I think they'll change. I think they have to change. It would be
Yeah, I agree. The left will, I don't know if they'll do it next election cycle, but at very, very minimum in 2032 to 2031, you know, they're going to completely go back to normalcy and pretty much try to separate themselves or distance themselves from anything that could be seen as being like wild. You know? That's what I'm thinking. Love you, Bang Kitty. Real Dragon Lady says can't get membership, can't sign up for it. Does somebody in the chat remember how to do that? Like how to allow yourself to get gifted memberships? I don't remember how to do it. I did it like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I don't remember how. So if somebody in the chat remembers, post that.
It would be wonderful. I'm going to be having lunch with some of the Democrats next week.
He's going to help them out.
Wonderful if we could work together.
Yeah.
Working together would be great. But they have to change. You can't get elected on the programs that they want. And that's really what America wants to see. So there's nothing I'd rather do than what I'm doing right now.
When we started this conference, Mr. President, Yasser and I, His Royal Highness the conference told us I want that to be a place where people will come to understand where to invest in terms of geographies and sector. So what is the best investment you have made in your personal growth, Mr. President?
Well, I was involved in real estate from most of my life. And was, guys like Whitcoff will tell you I was really good at it. And I was successful at it, very successful at it. I've been involved in things prior to being president, but during the last 4 years, I followed sort of the trends and I've made a lot of money with following some of these trends. And, it's, again, it's something that you do. I really believe that some people have instinct. I think I've always had an instinct for making money. I make money. And I went into show business. I had one of the most successful shows on television. I wrote books and they were all bestsellers. Virtually every book was a big bestseller, some really big bestsellers. And so I don't know, it's whatever I do, I just want to make it successful. It's very important to me. There are many ways to make money. You can be in many different fields. And a lot of them is being in the right country. If you're in a certain country, our country is actually getting very bad, a very dangerous place, actually. Bad things were happening. But if you're in a certain country, you have a chance to do well. And no matter how good you are, if you were born into the wrong country, you're not going to make money. Now, you can do other things. You can attain power, I guess. Maybe it's the wrong kind of power, but it's power. But being in the right country where you have the right incentives and, entrepreneurship, et cetera. And America has always been sort of at the top or one of the top, but always pretty much at the top. But it was losing that position. And I think losing it rapidly. This last administration, look, I don't want to be, I wish I could say, I wouldn't have run. If I thought Biden was doing a good job, if I thought I wouldn't have run. Because as I said, it was very dangerous to run in a lot of ways. In fact, my ear will show that when you look at it closely. My ear, I have that throbbing feeling every once in a while, but it was dangerous in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I would say so.
He was so bad that I had no choice but to do it. If I thought he was doing a great job, I wouldn't have run, and I would be very happy. I actually wanted him to do a good job. I was saying, do this, do that. I'm telling them, do things. They should have done what I said.
That's so reasonable.
And, but I would have been very happy not to have run, and frankly, to have seen somebody do a good job. But the country was going to hell, and I really sort of had to run.
If you were a historical ruler, would you prefer to rule during war or peace?
Well, I want to be, again, a peacemaker, and I want to keep us out of war. But sometimes to do that, you have to have a very strong country. You have to have a very strong military. And as I said, we have a much
What are
stronger
these questions? What do you want to hear about January 6th again?
equipment. And I bought a lot.
You want to hear about, like, but why if you, the January 6th?
We gave a lot of it away to Afghanistan, to the Taliban. Stupidly,
Actually,
but that's
yes,
a very
no, I
small
don't.
amount relative. It was billions and billions, but it's still a very small amount relatively to what we built. But I largely rebuilt our military. Now I'm going to have to do it again because so much has been given away, so much has been treated so badly. But to keep peace, you really have to. I have a thing, strength through, and I mean it. You really have it.
Peace through
You have
strength.
and you need the strength. But it's really peace through strength because without the strength, it's going to be very hard to have peace because you're going to be taken over. Bad things are going to happen. So you really want to have peace through strength, and that's where I've been. Having strength, having power in that sense to protect yourself and your people is a very important thing. Hopefully you don't have to use that power. I will tell you, I was dealing with President Putin very successfully on denuclearization. We were talking about it very seriously. And then COVID came and lots of things came. And we had also talked to China about it. Now, Russia and us have the biggest nuclear by far. China is not close, but they will be close. In 3 or 4 years or 5 years, they'll be equal. But we were going to talk to China, and I spoke to President Xi about it very successfully. I think we were going to denuclearize it. We would have had to get the smaller nuclear powers, of which there are 4, 3 maybe, but 4 probably, to do something. We would have been able to do that. But I was having very strong talks with President Putin about denuclearization. And, you know, if you're president, you get presentations about what we're building, what we're having, the power of weapons, the power of many things besides weapons per se. But I saw the power of nuclear weapons, and we can never let that happen. If that happens, the ball game will be, the world will be destroyed. The power is so enormous.
That's bad.
You look at Hiroshima, you look at Nagasaki, multiply that times 500 times, and the world would be destroyed.
That's a
So
lot.
You want somebody as your president, or you want somebody as your leader.
That's really
says
bad.
That we just can't let that happen. We can't let other countries get nuclear weapons. Not only Iran. Iran is a good example, and maybe the one that people think about, but we can't let that happen. The power of weaponry
bomb
today is so
Nagasaki? Yeah, I did.
enormous.
Yeah, could you imagine the Tsar bomb going off anywhere? Whew. Steph with a $20 super chat says, "Oh my God, happy to see you're in a much more upbeat mood tonight. Your day's coming. I just know, boy. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, I can't wait to get back on the track in Phoenix. I'm excited. And then we have a truck race at Martinsville. My first NASCAR Truck Series race is gonna be a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to that too. Thank you, Steph. I love you. I appreciate you. Orange boy in the pocket. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Thank you. Chris the McGough. I always want to ask people wearing Misfit shirts if they like Danzig. Probably 3 out of 4 would say, huh? To city in Poland. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. You are the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Thank you, man. Yeah, whenever I think about Danzig, I just think about mother. Sorry. Getting sidetracked. Thank you, Chris McGough. I love you, dude. Appreciate you coming in strong with a 200 Norwegian krones. You the man, baby. You are the man. 50 likes until 400. Get on it. Doggone it.
That the world would disintegrate. So we can't let it happen.
Mr. President, if you had to describe United States of America in just 3 words, what would they be?
Freedom.
In 3 words?
3 words.
Freedom.
Love, respect, and strength. That's a tough question. That might be my best answer, Yasser. That reminds me of high school, that one, but that may have been the toughest question, actually. Do you think Joe Biden could have done that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
We're almost at the end, Mr. President, but talking about United States of America, what is one cultural habit in the U.S. business that the rest of the world could learn from? What is the best practice?
Well, I think we love our families, but I think a lot of the world loves their families. You know, I was speaking to the head of Mexico because I complain constantly about people pouring in. Now our border is the strongest border we've ever had. We've gone from the worst border ever in history to the strongest.
You bring Southern?
But I was speaking to the president of Mexico, a very wonderful woman, actually. And I said, we were talking about drugs. You can't let people come through your country and come into the country. You know, he's not that nice, but they understood what I was saying. And she said something that really got me. She said, I said, you're not a big drug taking nation. And she said, no, we are not a consumer. And I said, a consumer, what an interesting word. We're not a consumer nation. We're not a consumer of drugs. I said, what an interesting, and why is that? She said, well, we have very strong family values. I said, but we do too. We do too. We have very strong, our families are devastated by what's happening with fentanyl, and China will not be doing, we're going to make a deal with China. They were not letting that happen anymore. And I had a deal, by the way, before I left. I had a deal with President Xi where they were going to give the maximum penalty to anybody making fentanyl and sending it to the United
by the way.
States. And
That's the bad.
Yeah, fentanyl is what killed my brother. Drug overdose. Real Dragon Lady, I hope you do. I hope you come. I hope you come. Timothy Burchell, I hope you come to Martinsville. What's up, Josie Bug?
The penalty is the death penalty, and it would have stopped. But when the election turned out to be a rigged election, but that's
real
okay.
bad. Yeah, super
The
bad.
election turned out to be it was an election that shouldn't have happened. All the things that happened. I'll give you an example. We wouldn't have had October 7th physical attack.
Ooh.
We wouldn't have had Ukraine and Russia fighting. We wouldn't have had inflation. We wouldn't have had all of these things that happened. But
You okay? I'm
in
totally
speaking
fine.
with her, she said about family values. I said, well, you're not really saying anything there because we have great families too. We have great family values.
Yeah.
She said, plus we advertise a lot. I said, ooh, you mean you advertise about how bad drugs are? Yes.
You ever think about how after 2020, Trump still did public appearances like every other day and was still talking and still doing everything. And as soon as Trump won, Biden disappeared. He's just gone now. Now, granted, look, I mean, he's old. he should. I mean, he should. That's what he should do. He should go to his vacation home and just go to sleep and just chill and live out the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, isn't it?
We spent a lot of money on advertising. And I said, unbelievable. That was such a great conversation because we're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars advertising how bad drugs are so that kids don't use them, that they chew up your brain, they destroy your teeth, your skin, your everything. And I thank her for that. I make so many calls and I never learn anything from anybody. I know everything and I never learn anything from anybody. And I spoke to this woman. As soon as she said it, she didn't have to say exactly what I said. Exactly. What a great idea. And I think we're going to have, and I saw pieces of it. We're going to go in with $100 million and then another $100 million initially. But I saw some of the ads and they are really violent. I said, you have to make them strong. Your skin practically comes off after a period of time. You lose your hearing. You lose your teeth. It is terrible.
And also, pharmaceutical companies' marketing allocation in the U.S. should be dropped to 0. If you understand my drift.
Terrible. And we show this happening to people.
Yep.
And I think we're going to, we did very well with, we had blue ribbon committees headed up by the First Lady of the United States and a lot of other people that, they have no idea the viciousness of these cartels and these people. And they're smarts. I mean, they're very smart, tough people, making a fortune, by the way, an absolute fortune. But we got it down 18%, which was a record. But 18% is not great when you think about it. I think we could get it down 50 or 55 or maybe even 60% with advertising. So she really gave me something. I was going to call her and tell her that she did, but now I don't have to call her because she's going to be seeing this right now. So to the president of Mexico, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But we're going to do a great advertising campaign saying how bad it is, how drugs are so bad for you.
Oh, drugs. All right. There you go.
My last question, Mr. President. You have mentioned briefly in your speech about the legacy. What would you like your legacy to be, if you can tell us more about it?
That I came into a country that was great, but is in trouble.
Yeah.
And I made America great again, and I got it out of trouble.
Wow. There it is.
People respect America now.
Okay.
And we were a country of peace, and we brought peace to the rest of the world.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Wow.
There you go. Fantastic. We did it. Yeah, they should ban pharmaceuticals from having any ads in America. Like you watch an NBA game and half the court says Pfizer all over it. It's very silly. Yeah, very, very silly. Toxicity, legend. Absolute legend. All right. So, fantastic. If you guys don't remember, big announcement today was I will be featured in the new NASCAR 25 video game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to be working with these folks and getting that deal going. It's going to be really, really cool. So don't forget about that. So you'll be able to play as my dumb ass. It'll be a lot of fun. Everybody on Twitter is saying they can't wait to wreck me, which is great. I'm all about it, man. Get on it, doggone it. It's, to be fair, when you think about it, it's better for people to be talking about you than not talking about you at all, right? There is like hundreds of tweets of people that want to kill me, and that's totally fine. So it's better than no one talking about me even a little. So that's going to come out. It is developed by the people that are doing iRacing. So it's going to be a really strong title, I think. So it's going to be really, really cool. So don't miss out on that. We're also accepting some sponsorship opportunities to come on my car for the year. And we have, I think, until April to get them locked in. And once they're locked in, you will also be featured in the game, barring a release form. So if you have a company and you want to get in the NASCAR video game and be on my car and be immortalized, make sure you DM me. It'll be a lot of fun. So we're kind of working through those things right now. We got a few people coming in and wanting to be involved. So it's going to be really cool. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Lester Logic, exactly. And then, of course, we'll be racing at Phoenix March 7th. Don't miss it on Fox. And then, of course, I'll be racing immediately after that. I'll be racing at Martinsville in the truck series. Going to be a lot of fun. And then we do Talladega. There's probably one in between that too. It might be Texas in the truck series. I don't really remember. No, it's Rockingham. Rockinham's right after that, I think. I can't remember. So it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool. So don't miss out. Do what on your car? Do what? Do what now? So go get some love here. Go retweet this and like it on the online. Where y'all at? Where the hell's my chat? Here's the link to that tweet, by the way. Go follow me on Twitter and go tweet that out and go like it. Let's get that son bitch to 1,000 likes. It's almost there. It's almost there. And make sure you like the stream. We're 40 away from 400. 400. Scaly, what the hell? All right. And now we have one more thing left today. And that thing is Naked Snake. Ooh, Naked Snake. Yeah. So we got to do that. That's really, really important. The Naked Snake has to happen. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to raid the midweek hump with my boy Shagsworth. Did Frankie finish 11th in the truck series? He finished 9th, I think, in the truck series race. So that's pretty cool. So go give it some love, boys. Go give that tweet some love. Go quote tweet it, retweet it, kiss on it, like it. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Get all that taken care of. Follow me on the Facebook page. I think it's in there somewhere. It's like facebook.com/RealCamelot331. I think. Go give it some love. It's basically a NASCAR page, to be honest. That's like my NASCAR page is Facebook. I don't really have one for Twitter, but still, it's fun. It's fun. Don't worry about it. All right. And let's do some Naked Snake for the boys. God's child. What's up, buddy? All right. It's time for Naked Snake, boys. If you guys have never seen this, get ready to unsubscribe. All right. Here we go for the 422nd stream in a row. It's time for Naked Snake, everybody. Let's do it again for the boys. One more time, boys. 422 in a row. Donna.
What a thrill with darkness and silence through the night.
Alan Jones.
I'm searching and I'm melting to you.
James Eaton.
What a fear in my heart. But you're so
Here we go, boys. You ready? In my time, there be nobody else crying. It's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eyes.
Someday you'll go red. Someday you feed on a tree frog. It's ordained a trial to survive. For the day.
Oh my gosh! I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there be nobody else crying. It's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream. Amazing. Amazing. Can you believe it, boys? One more time. $422 in a row. The streak is alive and well. Make sure you guys like the stream. I need you to spam that like button. We're 38 away from 400. Spam it right now as hard as you can. Close the chat. Hit that like button. We got to hit 400. Give it some love. Give it some kisses. I feel kisses. Little kiss. Little kiss, big kiss. Go give it some love. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys support me so damn much, and I just can't thank you enough for all the love today. So many pink boys. Marion, Scaly, Marion. Damn, we got Red Boy right there. Vespasian coming in here. Billy Hatcher. I appreciate you guys so much for all your love. We'll be back Saturday, of course. Don't miss it. We're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I may do a surprise stream Friday. I don't know for sure yet. But make sure you guys like the stream. We're going to go ahead and raid. Let me make sure he's live still, because sometimes I mess up. Yes, Shaggy. Okay, we're going to go raid Shagsworth. Give him some love. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Say Cam Raid, Crab Raid in the chat. Give it some love. I'll see you guys over there. Get on it. Doggone it. Love you. And thank you guys on Rumble as well. Josie Prestige, Heedle Deedle, Jacob Cash. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Love you. Appreciate